mean, it doesn't depict his true character and his IQ level. The big brrr. I like saying that now. The big brrr. He's got a gimmick there, though. But apparently that's become part of his persona. I bet he says it all the time, even off camera. Everybody has their little thing, I guess. That's his thing. Mark Ketley is back. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. The big brrr and the big dummy. And the similarities to them, basically, there are similarities. They both have that street attitude, that's never gotten them anywhere in life. I don't know. What is this guy, the big brrr, supposed to have been? I don't know. Where's he getting his money? I don't know. Having 2 o'clock in the morning coffees or something, lattes, like the big dummy's always up at 2 in the morning. And the strange thing about it is, you can't be drinking coffee at night if you're expecting to go to sleep. That just doesn't work that way. They do have similarities, though, from the videos I've seen. Again, that kind of low class uh, kind of character that, with the streetwise attitude and all this jive talk and all that, and that kind of mentality, prison mentality. Doesn't he have a teardrop under his eye, the big brrr? So has he been to prison? Because that's usually what they do in prison. Isn't the teardrop supposed to be meaning that how did you earn that teardrop because of your prison, or you just killed somebody or some shit like that? Something to that. If I'm not mistaken, he has that little teardrop under his eye tattoo. Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought I've seen that. It's an indicator of sorts. But I think the big dummy, I think, is probably jealous of the big brr. Because at least the big brr has some style. He has some style. And I think he has more character than a big dummy does. Mr. Istor says, lots of similarities. Brr, thinks the world is doing him dirty, just like the goober. Yeah, this is a little phenom, really. It's not phenom, it's more psychology, psychopathy. It's how you were raised. Like the big dummy says, he's been raised by a great family. And well, we know that not to be true because the big dummy himself has admitted how many times that, he was abused by his family member. Maybe more than one, I don't know, but certainly the dad. And that's coming from his own mouth, okay? It's not something I made up, it's something you all heard. And that kind of like, really defines your character as you're growing up. You're holding so much inside of you that you think the world is against you all the time. When the world is not against you, it's you against the world. You develop this bitterness that follows you the rest of your life, and it gets you into trouble constantly. As we've been actually, it's our movie theater, and we're watching the actor, and unfortunately, it's not acting; it's real. The big dummy presents himself as to who he really is. It's just an inborn it's performance. I mean, it's not for show like some people. I mean, it's real. His whole attitude, his demeanor, his character, his verbiage, everything about him, his presence on YouTube is so volatile, and he's so upset with the world, and wants to prove himself to be, get out of that little man complex, and that's what he has. He has a little man complex, is what it is. It's like the Chihuahua with the big bark. Can't be can't be a mastiff. A chihuahua is always going to be a chihuahua. It's not going to be a mastiff, okay? That ain't going to happen. So they have a big bark. And that's all it's been with the big dummy. It's a big bark. Try to save his ass. That's what little dogs do. They got the bigger bark, but they don't have the bite as a bigger dog. Am I right or wrong? So he's got the big dick as the little man's complex. Little man, big dick. It was his motto of some sort. And he might even have a little dick complex too, because he's always talking about dicks. I don't know. He sent a picture once. I certainly don't think it was his dick, but I think he has a complex with that too. It's those people that talk about the size of their appendage are the ones that either have a deformed or smaller dick than they actually have. Still looking for my nail clippers here, boys. I don't know what I do with them here. I have this thing about my nails. I don't like when they start to grow out. It's uncomfortable to me. Same as I don't like to grow hair on my face. And there's a whole phenom with that too, I think. Not exactly a phenom, but it's a masculinity thing. And Mexicans, a lot of Hispanics, it's not just them. Arabic too, some, but they think that growing a beard or mustache or something makes them more masculine. That's not what makes you more. It's not like an old story of Samson where his hair gave him strength or something. But I think hair on a face is more of an irritant, but it's also not very sanitary because, you know, whether you smoke or eat and you're getting all that shit all over your mustache and beard. I don't know. A mustache is a cookie duster or something. I don't know. Or maybe it's a pussy tickler or something. I have no idea. But I would venture to say that having hair on your face and you like to go south with your lady, that's only going to be an irritant. Even a little stubble on your face could be an irritant in that situation. But there's different factors that things that men do to try to look tougher, not only their attitude and words and their whole demeanor, but tattoos and having a beard is their way of saying, "Hey, I'm masculine." If you're masculine, you're a real man. You're a real man. You don't need a beard. And no offense against people who have beards and shit. It's just not for me. Or tattoos. That's not for me. I've got enough scars. I don't need tattoos. If I drop dead and have identity on me, they'd find me by my fucking scars, probably. Come on, a little more dialogue, boys. Don't get me bored here before my cheek cools off. They need dialogue. We're going to cut this thing short. This is not a big dummy show where half the time his viewers don't say anything and he gets all upset and disturbed. R. Catley says, "This is like a classic show. Got my feel, got my feet up on the desk, morning coffee, Frank talking about the brrrr. Can you do that? Can you roll your tongue like that? The big brrrr. If I could roll my tongue like that, imagine what I could do with the ladies. That's another thing, too, I've talked about on here, man. Let me tell you. This is a show where I talk about it all. I talk about it all. We don't hold back on this fucking show. Put your feet up there and get comfortable, son, because let me tell you the truth about life and ladies. Not lady boys, but life. Oh, Mr. Loser says, I think Barry has a Call of Duty video game tattoo on his arm. Really? Call of Duty. Is the cosplay-minded person like what's his name was? Oh, Ren Zero, Sentai Seven. Wow, that guy was a goofball. Goofy, goofy. Not many of these people are really ladies' men that they try to portray that they are. You know, a lot of these goobers like the big dummy, and there's a lot of expats like it's just not have to be expats. It's men in general. You know, they don't know how to please a woman. Women are different. You know, they want to please their man, but men don't want to please their women. They just want to draw a target and dive bomb into that target like a kamikaze fucking pilot and zero in and get the job over in 2 minutes. Release their load, bombs away, and that's it. A woman is, it takes a woman more than that to be satisfied and get herself to be orgasmic. I mean, you can't just, you know, what about her? I've done a show on this before. I'm not going to make the whole show about this, but some common sense here. And I did do a show on this actually. I remember I did. And this is not what the show's all about, but we're gonna segue into a few things on here. But a woman needs to be pleased, and most men don't really know how. And I'm not going to give you all the details of how to please a woman, but the basics really. But it's not you're a zero pilot. You're dive bombing in. You got your target in there. And you're going for that target. Release your payload, and that's it. That's not what it's all about. I have honestly been with approximately 125 women in my life. It's approximate. I don't sit there and count. I know it's approximate, but I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot. I know what they like. I know what they don't like, and what they do like. I try to do what they like, but I don't get into anything too kinky or any shit like that. I'm not a kinkapod, you know. But the thing is, women don't is like probably what's this percentage on there? It's not exact. You might find that 60 to 70% of women don't even orgasm from straight intercourse. No, they don't. Don't try to play hero, boys. Let's see. 2 minutes is a long haul for me when it comes to that. After a few, okay. Really? Oh, geez, man. Super sensitive, I guess. Well, here's the thing, the mistake a lot of guys are making. A lot of guys are making. A lot of guys that are in a relationship, they masturbate uh, outside of their sessions with their loved one. And I'm not one of them. You shouldn't need to do that if you've got a nice woman. But what happens in the process, and hey, I lay it out on my channel here. I lay it out more than one way. Your hands are stronger than the vagina walls, and you lose sensitivity in your penis. So if you're gripping on your pecker all the time, you're losing a lot of sensitivity. So therefore, when you go to have sex with a woman, it's very possible that you could have a hard time. Shall I say, bombardier bombs away? Okay, you might have a hard time with bombs away and achieving that big brrr. That's a fact, son. So you don't need to manipulate yourself. However, you can do that as preventative pregnancies. You could do that too. For example, a lot of guys take a chance and they don't use protection, as well as the women out here don't use protection. You know that, right? So if you're not using protection, there's always a chance that there's going to be some substance that's going to make its way. into the vaginal canal. And guess what? You're a daddy. You're a daddy. A proud daddy that you could run away from, like most expats do. So maybe you should actually manipulate yourself so that there's no chance. What are you trying to achieve? Orgasm, right? Does it matter whether you orgasm inside her or externally? Is she achieving the orgasm she wants? How about some oral sex? How about that? Which women get off more on than vaginal sex. I'm not saying don't do vaginal sex. No, 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 no. You got to do that. But you got to give the woman a variety. A variety, I tell you. Or she could enjoy herself, man. Women, they might tell you, oh, yeah, that was great. I orgasmed. When they really didn't, they just want to make you feel good. What they really want to say is, man, you got to get boots on the ground with this guy. You got to get down and dirty. Please me. You got to please me. This just isn't enough for me. Never mind these fucking 2 minute things. Stick it in, payload out, bombs away. Nah, that's not what they're looking for, man. Mark Calley says, classic My Philippines Interest show right here. This is the good stuff. There you go. I only tell the truth on here, man, by my experiences in life and what I hear, what I've heard. That's all it's about. It's all it's ever been about on here, man. These guys, they think that they're all studs. They don't know anything about sex. They don't. Half of them are too busy watching Pornhub and their shorts down to their fucking ankles and rubbing one off. But when it comes to real life, with a real life woman, not a blow up doll or an artificial vagina that you could buy online, when you come to the real McCoy, you got to know what the fuck you're doing before you go on that adventure, man. Don't go for that long hike unless you got the stamina and you got the expertise to circumnavigate the terrain that might kind of put a little bit of limpage in your journey. Casanova Chronicles. I mean, my goal is I aim to please, and I don't care how that happens. I'm not a kinkopod. I call it a kinkopod. I'm not kinky. I'm not going to hang from the ceiling and do, I mean, and a lot of the shit that you see in the movies. I mean, let's be real about this. I'm going to give you a typical scenario that you have all seen in a lot of movies. Guy's in a room with the girl. It's like a moment of passion. He pins her up against the wall, and it's just a spur of the moment thing. He's not all jacked up and all that shit. That's bullshit. You got no baseball bat going on there. Also, he just pins to the wall. Next thing you know, he's in her and they're doing it. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. In that position against the wall, how tall is she? Oh, you're gonna be the big guy. Okay, you're gonna have her wrapped up in your arms, and you're gonna be doing it that way, and you're gonna hold her up the whole time. So I guess you've got a great back. You're a younger guy. You've done acrobatics. She's done acrobatics. Let's come to reality. This is TV. These are movies and stuff like that. Oh, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, I did. I had a fucking stent in me, dude. I showed you that stent, about 11 inches long, that went in there and it connected to my, kidney and the bladder. Fuck. Hell, I wasn't even thinking about it. Hell no. I didn't want that thing to move in there and cause a problem, man. I was in fear. The fear factor, for sure. Yeah, kidney stones are no joke, man. You may laugh about it, but wait till you get it. It's not if, it's when. Most people will get it at one point. And it's really a lot according to your diet and how much and how much liquid that you're flushing out your kidneys and everything, man. And most people don't hydrate enough, and I wasn't. That's one of the reasons. Yeah. Oh, you had stones too, huh? Oh, fuck yeah, you're taking a break from the action. I wasn't even going on my treadmill. I said, fuck this shit. I don't want this damn, you know, this stent to move, man. I was in fear, real fear. Not like Barry's going to kick my ass fear. No, it could be a dangerous thing to do too, actually. I mean, no, nobody knows. What was that also? Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Well, let me tell you something, man. Damn. Believe me, I had some procedures in my life that were not pleasant. And my ear thing, I've had 3 or 4 operations, whatever, in my right ear, during my life. And you don't realize how close to either paralyzation or even death I could have been in. I had what you call a mastoid infection in my right ear when I was really 13 or whatever I was. I don't remember. Had infection. I had fucking pus coming out of my ear. And I took it on my own accord to have it, looked at. I was doing stupid things like, it was very popular. You just take a bobby pin, you put it in your ear, and you're taking this is gross, but you're taking a pus out and put it on tissue, you're cleaning out your own ear. No, you get your ass to a doctor. You got pus coming out of your ear, you got a problem. With my situation, I had a mastoid infection. It was bad. I went in, I supposedly went in and cleaned it out. They had to go right behind my ear, cut a big behind my right ear to get in there to the canal and all that inner ear. And there was a mastoid. They had to do a mastoidectomy and take which is basically like a tumor of sort out of there. It was it's a skin tissue, skin cells that built up into would look like a ball or something. But there was massive infection, and it was even going into the mastoid bone of the skull. It was just hard to hear in the morning. I don't know where you are, but yeah. So that didn't work. They didn't get all the bad bacteria out of there. So I had to go in again to get, clear all out any bacteria that was left, didn't do a good job the first time. Damn. And what did that shit do to me? It totally destroyed my bones in my ear. And I had to have another operation to have these artificial bones put in, the anvil, stirrup, and all that stuff. Fuck yeah. If I would let that infection go and I could have had meningitis, I could have had a brain tumor, death. Oh yeah, I've stared death in the face. Well, not exactly. It would have been a time element on that, but sometimes you got to take care of business, man. Don't self defeat. And let me tell you, that was not pleasant either. And I went in the Queen's Medical Center in Hawaii for an operation that was hopefully going to restore some of my hearing. But they went in there basically, and they seen that the artificial bones that was put in prior just was too delicate. It was just too close to that facial nerve. And that's the thing you got to watch out for. The facial nerve. If you prick that sucker, you're going to have a total paralysis on your side of the face. They don't want to mess with it. They tried to restore the hearing by kind of repositioning these artificial bones that were basically hanging on a fucking thread. Don't tell me I haven't been through some stuff. Let me tell you, I have. I'm a hard ass when it comes to these things, man. I've been in some situations that you wouldn't want to be in. And believe me, it made me hard. Well, in character. But Any kind of infection you have in your ear, you better have it taken care of, man, because that could be the end of your life. Yeah. I had parents, that I used to talk about this too. What haven't I talked about really? They lived by Alka-Seltzer. If you got a problem, take an Alka-Seltzer. That was a New York thing. I don't know. Well, Italian Americans anyway, my family anyway. Because they just didn't want to go to the hospital. They're afraid you're going to find something they didn't want to see. But how do you take care of something unless you go checked out? But they weren't totally wrong on the Alka-Seltzer because that was very alkaline. And that could fight off cancer. So they weren't really wrong totally about Alka-Seltzer or Brioche. You remember Brioche if you grew up on the East Coast or anywhere? Big blue bottle and had this, it looked like coral, really. And that's the shape they were in. And it was fizzy. It was just like Alka-Seltzer, same shit. Only had lemon to it or something, they have lemon flavor. It looked like white coral. Could you go back to remember that? Yeah. And, if I had listened to them, they had the attitude that ain't broke, don't fix it, or just wait it out or something. If I would have done that, I would have been dead. I had a hernia. If I had three of them actually in my lifetime. Um, and you know, my mother's attitude was like, "Oh yeah, they don't bother you." Well, it was bothering me. I was feeling something. She wanted me to what? Wait till my intestines folded up and I strangled to death. And that's what happens when you have a hernia, you know, and your intestines basically are being pushed through a sheet of muscle, and when it breaks through it, that's a hernia. And what happens is if you leave it, you'll see a swelling. You'll know you have a hernia because you're going to see a swelling. You're inguinal, however they pronounce that. Got the idea? And you'll know after a while it might actually hurt you. But what you don't want to happen is how dangerous this is. People don't realize it. You don't realize it. If that intestine folds, your blood circulation cuts off. And it's not strangulation of the neck. You call it strangulation. It's strangulation with your own fucking intestines. Yeah, they were fun. I went under the knife with that one first one, and the others. No, there was one on each side I had, but the others were laparoscopic. Thank goodness for that. And what they do with that, down in your tummy, you'll see three little scars. You'll see three holes. One is, well, they're putting the camera through there. And the other holes that they're actually blowing up that area with air so that they can actually guide their laparoscopic scope to where it needs to go. So they have to bloat you up with air. That's what they do. So I've been through that. And they even put a mesh. Now, if you're going to have a laparoscopic, many times they used to use the Baird, BAIR brand. It's like I don't know, polyethylene or something mesh, which is a very wise thing. Some people don't like it because there might be problems later on. But no, I'm not turning this into a health show, but let's just go with the flow with it as we normally do. Um, the mesh becomes a permanent feature. And what it does, it's a barrier to your intestine in case anything happened again. You don't want to get your intestine to go through that wall. So they use this, I don't know what it is, polyethylene or something. It's like a screen. It's like a screen. It's a mesh. That's exactly what it is. And they use this with their laparoscope. That thing opens up like an umbrella. They push it through. It's going to stay there because what happens in time is your muscle tissue, nerves, everything, vessels, they all start wrapping around it after a while. But some people, there were certain brands of bears, and I couldn't get in on that lawsuit, let me tell you. Yeah, but I was happy I didn't because there was a certain brand from Baird that caused a lot of problems, and people went through agony. Agony. I was fortunate that the brand I had on that inguinal whatever head mesh was not one So I had to check with the hospital. I said, well, tell me, man, what kind of model, whatever mesh was this? They said, no, it's not the one that was on the list. Hey, fuck the money from a lawsuit, man. Fuck that shit. I'm more interested in my fucking health, and it's just knowing that it wasn't that type. It was enough, you know, to make me feel more relaxed that maybe this wouldn't happen in the future. This is so many years. It's not been a problem at all. You don't always get the best surgical materials when you have an operation, unfortunately. Fuck, they leave instruments inside you. You've heard of cases like that. I don't want to deal with that shit, man. I remember okay, Seinfeld. Here we go again. Remember Junior Mint? They were up in the viewing area, and of course George and Seinfeld and their friend or somebody was getting an operation. While it was open, his Junior Mint slipped out. His Junior Mint slipped out of his hand, and it wound up going into the cavity of, the surgical cavity, the opening, whatever kind of operation the guy was having. That was funny. Junior Mint. The big brrr, baby. The big brrr. The big brrr. I think the big dummy is actually jealous of the big brrr because he's starting to get a little bit of attention. He wants to be big and tough like the big brrr, but the big dummy, he can't find a way to do that. Oh, he would love to actually meet the big brrr. Thinking in his mind, yeah, we're alike, man. We're like brothers. We're alike. We got the street talk. We got it all down. We got tats, whatever else. Part of the brotherhood. Part of the dumbhood. The one thing in life is you don't have to prove you're a man by telling people you're a dick. Always with this big dummy with his dick. Telling people his dick is bigger than everybody else's or bigger than mine or whatever. Then you combine that, the whole attitude, the tattoos and all this shit, the demeanor, the tough talk and all that shit. That's not being a fucking man. That's being a big dummy. As far as I'm concerned, that's being a big dummy. You're either a man or you're not. And a man does not mean strength. A man does not mean having a big pecker. Where all this definition of being a real man comes from. But most of these people are not even close to being a real man. They don't know how to make love. They don't know how to please their woman. No matter how big their fucking dick is, they don't know how to please themselves. Some fucking guy that's fucking jerking off all his fucking life. He wonders why there's no sensitivity or anything when he goes to have sex with a fucking rock. Because he's used to his fucking strong hand doing all the goddamn stroking and choking, stroking and choking. They don't know anything about fucking sex. They have no fucking clue. They want to take the kamikaze approach on. Target. Get ready to drop the payload. Dive. Okay, lights. Find your target. Really? And you. Sorry, just deal with it for a couple of minutes. I'm in that dead zone, famous dead zone I have back here. No, it's really truthful. I'm not just making a story about this. I think most men, they're always trying to prove their masculinity, and a lot of people that, they have that little man complex like a big dummy has. He definitely has a little man complex. There's no, I'm actually pretty happy with my height. I think if I was really about a choice of height, I'd like to be about 5'10". No more than that. Too many problems when you're too tall, and you'll understand what I mean. And a lot of these guys that you know that are well over 6 feet tall, they have a lot of skeletal problems, joint problems, and they wind up having heart problems. I'm actually very satisfied with my height. I mean, I ultimately, like, I met a lot of Norwegians. I used to date a Norwegian lady, and you know, her relatives and friends that I had in Seattle were they were tall. So were the women. Let me get back to the safe zone here, and I'll tell you, the Norwegians were big guys. I can think about Ron. Ron was a guy who was dating the sister of the Norwegian that I used to date. And I'm going to tell you, uh, that guy was a big dude. Norwegians, a lot of them are really big. So I'm not going to segue into Norwegians. I'm just trying to make a point. I don't know what my point is anymore. What's the point of anything, really? Talking to people on here, but some people have that little man complex. I am 5'7". That's what it is. That's what I am. I'm not any taller than that. I used to be, but there's been shrinkage that goes on with age, skeletal structure. Your discs are getting thin. And sometimes it could even come down, unfortunately, to some people bone to bone, which you don't want. You don't want that. That's when you're going to have an operation. They'll slip something in there in a replacement, I guess. I don't know how the hell they do that, but it's cereal time, baby. Oh, yeah. When we get the damn blueberries out, right? I'm going to put that on the side. I don't know. I'm not saying that Mucilix is the best cereal, but it's not bad. I like it because it's crunchy. Boy, do I segue into stuff here. That's why you listen. That's why you listen. And boy, you get some good fiber out of this. You'll take a shit and you're very satisfied with it. Okay. I don't know. Maybe have the blueberries afterward. I'll defrost some blueberries. I just too lazy. And I don't want to try to defrost them now. I'll defrost them afterwards. Make use of it. I got them goddamn blueberries. I'm going to eat them. I'm going to eat them. Next thing you know, John Blaze's wife is going to be buying blueberries now, guaranteed. Smart woman. Listening to me. Smart woman. We do the best with what God gave us. Right. I can't be any taller than I am, but I'm not going to pretend like the big dummy does. And say that I'm a certain height that I'm not. When, I've seen him. I've stood next to him. And he's been on camera next to me. Saying that you're 5'7" or 5'8" does not make you 5'7" and 5'8". It's the little, I told you, it's the little man complex. And I don't sit there and measure my dick either. You have the biggest dick in the world, but if you don't know what the fuck to do with it, what good is it? Really? If you can't perform, and besides, hey, this is the Truth Channel here. Having a rather large appendage, a lot of men think their women are going to enjoy that. Wrong. They're just being polite to you. Because many women bleed, they get tissue damage, and they find the experience very uncomfortable. There's been porn stars that have admitted, and not just porn stars, just regular women who refused. They'd meet a guy, a good-looking hunk of man, right? They went to have sex and they went to see this guy had a pecker that was fucking huge. They said, no way. Mm-mm. No way. Go away. Because a woman's anatomy is not made for specific sizes. But if you're one of these men that don't give a fuck but only about your own pleasure, and you're not thinking about what the woman is feeling, you're a selfish bastard. Oh, of course, Popeye's on. He's had a lot more free time, Popeye. But then again, talking about sexual topics to Popeye, without a question. I don't know when the last time he had his pecker. Somewhere that most guys want to get their pecker. 40 years. No doubt, Mark Catley says. Good. Pretty good cereal. Should have brought more boxes. Wasn't thinking. Should have, could have. Yeah. Well, what do you think makes a guy really bitter like Popeye? Man, you ain't seen no action. He's been divorced how many years now? Come on, honestly, you think Popeye's getting any action anywhere besides his right hand, or he might be a lefty? I don't know. No, he's looking at Pornhub, or he's looking at pictures of my girlfriend or something. Wishing he had anyone really, for that matter, anyone. Mark says, "LOL, no doubt." Now, there's something wrong when somebody has to record you. There's something wrong when somebody has to do the simulcast all the time. I've done it a few times with people, but I don't make a career out of it. Well, the fact is, the guy hasn't seen no action, God knows how long. Keeps on reverting back to the Subic Bay days. Everything is Subic Bay, Subic Bay. That was a long time ago, Jack. That was a long time ago. Then, of course, his marriage to one of the whores. All he talked about was a round table deal with the whores in Subic Bay in a bar would gather around and go under the table. Remember he was discussing that? Giving the guys blowjobs. He probably still thinks about that today every time he gets off. Those were the days, my friend. I thought they'd never end. Mark says Popeye has his quilted blanket on his lap, living vicariously through Frank Battaglia. You're probably right, dude. I mean, in all seriousness, you're probably right. He's definitely living vicariously through other people. Obviously, if he's so, hell bent on recording my show, doing simulcasts, at the end, of course, he talks about, what he recorded or simulcast. And I've seen a number of shows where he had nothing much to say because, you know, other than, oh, well, there you go again, or saying he couldn't, because he knew a lot of things I was saying was absolutely righteous and it was true. A lot of things I was saying was true. And he couldn't argue with some of the things I was saying because he knew it was true. That's when he would go more silent. He didn't have a whole lot to say. And I've seen a lot of his shows where he was copying my shit and he really didn't have much to say because, he couldn't find any fault in what I said. So what he would do is try to take something I said and make it into, exaggerate the situation and put his own, words in on it or his own insight and kind of turn it around because he doesn't want to get caught literally, or figuratively with his pants down. For example, when I do a good show, I do a good show. Okay, period. But there are sometimes I've seen that he barely had any commentary at all. He said, "Well, that's it. It is what it is," and that's his famous line too. It is what it is. And okay, hope you enjoyed the show, and acknowledges the people that were on the show, making comments and all that. And then he just disappears. Am I right or wrong? Yeah, he's still thinking about that bar girl he scored in 1976. Man, it's fucking 2025 now, dude. 2025. God, you got one fucking foot in the grave and one foot on a fucking banana peel. Maybe it's time you get fucking laid, dude. Jesus Christmas, man. God, go find a rental whore like everybody else does out there. Just find one. Claims he has money, he's not broke, but maybe put that money to good use. Get away from the bingo parlor and all these blue-haired, silver-haired ladies that are chain smoking cigarettes in there, and get away from uh, get away from paleontology. You know what I mean? I mean, you come to the present. The future is here. It's now. Stop being an archaeologist with women and hanging around these fucking places that only make you feel old. And no matter what age you are, you're gonna feel old. And you put yourself around a lot of old people, you're gonna be old real fast. That's what happened with him. Yeah. Old is a state of mind, not necessarily totally body. It's a state of mind. Someone could say I'm old because of what my age is. Well, things have changed, really. People are living longer. They'll call you moderately old, but it's not a matter of chronology. It's a matter of attitude. It's a matter of how you carry yourself, how you talk, how you dress, your whole demeanor. I mean, I've met people that really didn't understand what my age was. They seen how I walked, they seen how I talked, they seen how agile I was. I mean, how much energy I have when I walk and my talk and all that stuff, and they get confused and say, well, when they find out that your age you're at, they say, "Oh, really? You're doing pretty good." I told you in just one day alone yesterday, I had two different foreigners I'd spoken to when I was downtown, which I do socialize with people that are foreigners. Usually just the incoming tourist might ask me a question, we start talking or something, or I may initiate the conversation or something on there, but whatever way. And they're always surprised. They say, "Well, you looks like you've been taking care of yourself." And I just answer and say, "Yeah, I'm just doing the best I can." And it's always nice to hear a compliment like that. Bruce Monroe comes, says North America has the granny market cornered. Bruce Monroe says totally a huge waste of time. No, look, I don't. I want to make something clear. I don't. I don't have any problem with guys dating younger women. I just think there's no commonality. I just think if you're going to be in a long-term relationship, you're going to have that much of an age gap. We talk about this all the time. So somebody else, their grandmother, but a guy that's 80 years old, he's got an 18-year-old on his arm. I mean, come on, what's with that, really? Okay, it's a business arrangement, but they feel proud to have that girl on their arm, though. They feel proud. But they don't realize they try to convince themselves that they're a real stud. That's exactly what goes on. They try to convince themselves and people around them that they're a big stud because they got this, you know, Filipina that's barely out of puberty, going down that little time machine, trying to, you know, cheat father time or whatever. It doesn't work. It's all a show. It's a gallery. The guy's trying to feel his oats back again, sow his oats, whatever, and it just doesn't work. Even the Filipino people, they see that. They know whether you're a good couple or not because Filipinos are very observant. Observant. They watch. They may not comment, but maybe to themselves. But for example, me and mine, we walk down the road. Well, they all know us here, but they say that I could see this relationship. Why do they say that? Because they obviously see that I'm an older man and she's a younger woman, but not, by great numbers. And 20 years is a comfortable gap. Beyond 20 years, it's like it's excess. A lot of guys, they try to build up their virility and all that stuff. I'm a virile man. Well, I'll tell you, a lot of these guys have babies at 80 years old. How the fuck they do that? I don't know. I'm not 80 there yet, but how the hell they do that? I really don't know. The testosterone levels going down, sperm count, everything else. I have no fucking idea how they make a baby. I have no idea, but they do. And it's wrong. Hold on. But the old bastards do. And it's not right for the kid. That's another thing why I'm not big on the big age gap shit that goes on because it's not fair for the kid. A kid wants to grow up with his daddy and play ball with him and do activities, but that's not going to happen. Then the guy's longevity, if he's already 80 years old, I mean, you know, how much part of that kid's life are you going to be playing in? Think about it. That's fine. You're 57, man. Women in their 30s is fucking fine. There's nothing wrong with that. They use as a turkey baster for insemination, though. Is that what goes on? Damn. Just face a fact. The reality is you get older, man. Your sperm count's down to a minimum. Seminal fluid. I mean, everything is down. Your testosterone levels are almost non fucking existent. But I don't believe in testosterone therapy, though, because that could affect your heart. It's good in some ways because to increase your testosterone will definitely give you back some energy levels. There's no doubt about that scientifically. Make you feel younger and everything else, but you're playing uh, with a deck of bad cards. You know, when you do something like that, like all the bodybuilders that are into all these fucking, you know, chemicals to gain their muscle and take testosterone shots and everything else they do, they get heart attacks. You got to watch it. What you do is you do the best with what you have, and that's what you do. Yes, vitamin supplementation is really important. That can help you in a lot of ways. Increasing your nitric oxide through various things. L-citrulline, you can take a supplement with that, or eat a shitload of watermelon, which you can't do, but anything that's going to help blood circulation, that's what you do. And like I always say, keep your blood moving. That's important. Your vascular system is very sensitive. And that's why they developed something called sildenafil, which is known as Viagra. But there are natural ways to deal with that instead of taking a dangerous like Ricky does all the time. Well, good morning. Sensitive topics here, my love. You know how much of a stud I am, right? We got into some topics here, very sensitive topics. Ah, what do you what do you honestly think when you see a man? And this is coming here; it's going to come from a Filipino. What goes through your mind? And be honest about it. When you see a man that's around 80 years old, he's got like an 18-year-old on his arm. What do you think is really going on here?
We can help to find Companionship.
All right, they're coming here to find companionship. But beyond that, look at the age gap. 80 years old with an 18-year-old or something, let's say, for example. Do you think that's really a love situation going on? They can't see your face, you know?
No,
Okay. So the answer is no. It's more of a arrangement. Would you say it's an arrangement that he takes care of her and she'll
that's
take care of him sexually, pretty much?
that's one gani companionship.
Well, of course, it is companionship. Yeah, absolutely. But beyond that, don't you think it's more of a financial thing? It's more of a woman at that age that would, why would a woman, here's a good question to ask a Filipina. Why would a woman want a guy that's an extreme age? He's made it to his 80s already, and he's with this young Filipina. She's full of life, and he's around the corner from you know to meet his maker. What's the glue that keeps them together? What do you think on that? I mean, do you see this more as I've been quoting earlier, and don't have to agree with me? Do you think it's more of a business relationship in a sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, she agrees on that. Hey, does Bob Cooper?
Uh, Foreigners come to Philippines to find a Filipina to take care for that foreigner. Then the Filipinas, yes, they do it for some financial.
Yeah, a foreigner is looking for a caretaker, and the Filipino does it for financial. Because let's face the fact, even me, there's a 20-year gap, and that's not like anything to write mom home about. In America, that would be, but not here. A 20-year gap is not bad. It's comfortable. You have some things in common, even though you have a different culture, there might be some things you don't have in common, but 20 years, we can see that. You can
But
deal with that.
like but like 80 years old and then 20 years old women,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a question.
Yeah. She said it. An 80-year-old with a 20-year-old is, yeah, it's financial. That's what she just said. It's financial. Bruce Monroe says, Bob, Bob Cooper says, yes, it's companionship. Mark Catley says, well said, Gilda. And you're getting it from a Filipina's perspective. She's one that's been born and raised here. And people, what's really funny? Let me tell you what's really funny. Um, they call women that are of mature age, they call them grannies. Let me tell you something. You're not going to get that so-called granny in the United States, okay? You're not going to get, and you're at your age is quite up there. And then let's say, okay, right here in the Philippines, let's stick it to the Philippines here, okay? You're dating a woman who's a mature person. Gilda had just turned 50, and she was a lot younger than that. Of course, when we got together, 9 years younger. Great age gap. It was a good age gap. She wasn't coming out of puberty or something. She was a mature woman. And a lot of these guys, the purpose they come here. They want to get the youngest women they can. They want to be the studs I talked about earlier. They want to be Mr. Studley. They want to show off these gals on their arm. And that's all it is. It's fucking eye candy. That's all it is. But the reality is you don't have anything in common whatsoever. Nothing in common. And you don't have the strength and ability and agility of a younger woman has sexually. They're in their prime, even in their 50s, they're in their prime. You're 80 years old, you're not going to keep up. Well, I'm saying if you're going out with an 18-year-old or even some of these losers, they go out with, they go underage too. And that's, common out here. That's why you got perverts coming, the real perverts that are coming here to, take advantage of the situation. Hey, if I could get a girl that young, what is that saying about the guy? Someone on here likes to use that word pedo quite, with ease, and comfort of labeling people a pedo. But you are a pedo if you're dating. If you're fucking older in your age, and you're dating somebody that's underage, and even looks We have a guy out there that's married to, with no names on here. A,
You can
a,
dating for the underage if they get a parent's consent.
if you got authorized consent, but out here, there are rules. Now, Filipino rules are different than foreigner rules. I think the legal age of sexual consent or whatever is they used to have it at 13 years old.
No,
No, one time they did.
uh, that one is from the hi,
The more native
native
tribes,
tribes.
yeah,
That
the
one,
native
yeah,
tribes, yeah, it could be 13 years, it could be 12 years old.
yeah.
It's different than the modern society here in the Philippines.
But the native tribes now, they some of them they go to the school and then they don't do that now.
Yeah, they get educated. They don't do that stuff now.
Mhm.
Some of the, some of the older tribes that still
Yeah,
exist
the
out here,
older.
they go by some their own ancient ways, and because of other factors too, which historically in early man, well, earlier times actually in human history, and we're going back 100 plus years ago, whatever, when people didn't live beyond a certain age, and they had to get married and procreate at an early age because they knew they weren't going to live to be 40 years old if they were lucky. But these days, people commonly live to 60, 70, 80 years old. It's no big deal. But back at a time when people didn't live to be on 30, 45 or something around there, they had to start off earlier. There's some tribal nations that actually, still practice, early marriage, early children, because, they know the health of the tribe is not very good. The native people who go by native tradition and they start off early. Um, they're not living in, with modern society and medicine necessarily to prolong their life, and they know this. But there's drawbacks on that too. Uh, Alien Davis says, "I'm 71. My Filipino lady is 51. That's good. Been together 10 years. Wasn't even looking for love until I met her. Yeah, I get you. I get you. Raining Cats and Dogs says Philippine women are beautiful, even ones that are older looking. And you guys are missing the market here. I see Alan Davis says, if it's really love, what age got to do with it? Well, the problem with that statement is, I mean, I agree with you, but let's get to reality. Why would a Filipina really? She wants a future. They want to grow old together. She wants to have the man in her child's life as the child is developing and growing and gets active. And there's activities that only a father can do of an appropriate age to be able to do that with his children. And the older you are, the shorter to your little lifespan you are, and you're not going to be in that child's life. So it's kind of unfair to the child, is what I'm really saying. As far as what love really is, it don't matter about age. Come on, the reality of that statement, it's not much of a reality because if you're a young, virile Filipina, there's no reason you can't find a man of the same culture or a man around your age. Doesn't have to be the same culture, the same, Filipino, the Philippines origin. You want to be with a man that's, either close to your age or not a terrible age gap. It makes more sense because the guy's going to be around in her life a lot longer. Even the 20-year age gap that me and my girlfriend have, it's always, we talk, I talk about that all the time. I know that, in the normal world, I'm going to outlive her. No, she's going to outlive me, but you never know. But uh, you got to think about that sometimes because, you know, let's say she's already 50 years old and I drop dead after my cup of tea here. I mean, she's 50 years old. And it gets harder to really find a man at 50 years old in the Philippines. It really does, even among local men. So you got into this relationship, and is it the end of the road? Not necessarily. If your partner who's older, even 20 years older, dies or something, I mean, they're gonna have a hard time. So, I mean, even it's realistic. Even in my relationship, there is an age gap, but not on what the average of what you see from the foreigners coming in here. There's a large age gap in here. It's tremendous, and it's ridiculous. Need to quit smoking. I need to do a lot of things. You need to quit drinking, Bobby. Not Alien David. Alan Davis says not reason, but relationship. Bruce Monroe says if you want all the legalities about dating super young Filipinas, all you need to do is book Rike for a $50 consultation. Or go to Jasper in the Philippines. He'll tell you all about relationships in the Philippines. And he'll take your money. Oh, Bob, are you exercising? Are you losing weight? Are you still on that crazy eating pattern that you're on? Dude, you need to lose weight. Forget about moving to the Philippines. I don't care how much money you have. It's not going to change things up. It's not a game changer having supposedly sold a house for $600,000. That's a good chunk of change. There's no doubt about that. You got me beat by milestones, but the money ain't the whole answer to everything. It's really not. Utilize some of that money to get in shape, Bob. And I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just trying to just be honest with you, man. Because if you're overweight, I mean, how you gonna have sex with a woman anyway? You could have a fucking heart attack. If you're not in shape, you don't do anything aerobic and move your blood, you don't do anything, Bob. What good is coming here if you're looking, we said you got this Filipina for how many fucking years? Have you ever actually even met her? I'm not being an asshole here. I'm just saying. You've been holding up her life for how many years? And she's been holding up your life for how many years you've been talking to her? Come on, man. Seriously. Mrs. Hemminger's here. Oh, Raining Cats and Dogs. We're going to talk about Anna Nicole Smith. Anna Nicole Smith in her late 20s, billionaire husband in his 90s. It was all for money. Everybody knew that. Come on. What do they have in common? It was love. If you're going to say anything about it was love, that's bullshit. Love of a great grandfather, perhaps? Yeah. Come on. Get real.
It is love.
Yeah.
It
Bob
is
Cooper says, I'm going to die in Manila. Probably so. You love her. What love? I'm not, look, again, I'm not trying to be an asshole to you, Bob. I'm really, really not. I'm being honest with you, okay? Take it for what it is, for what it's worth.
it's there.
You're in
Love.
bad shape. You've been overweight, looks like most of your life. You smoke pot like it's going out of style. You eat like it's going out of style. Your heart is unhealthy. Your liver is unhealthy from your drinking. Okay, you probably have diabetes on top of that. I'm probably right without even knowing. I'm probably right. Say if I am or not. You're going to go have sex with younger women out here, and you think it's going to be that easy. But then again, it's how fair is it to a Filipina if you're a lot older than her and you're not in good shape and you don't have a good heart and you're obese? You're not doing her any justice. You're not doing her any justice. You're not doing her any justice.
It's their body and
Well, it's their body. Yeah, they
it's
do what they
their
want.
problem.
Their problems. It's their
Yeah.
body, their problem, Gilda
Yeah.
says. Yeah.
So it's up to them what they do their body.
Do Gilda's daughters prefer Filipino men to foreigners?
No.
No. Her older daughter is with a Filipino man. And the others, whoever has a mate at the time, they're all Filipinos. All Filipinos. Smart.
My daughter's in Korea now again.
Oh, your daughter's back in Korea? Nina?
Yeah.
Oh, man. What could she bring back? Oh,
Don't know.
I don't know. Bob Cooper, take care of her, and she will take care of you. Bob Cooper says, but she loves my money. Well, then why you want to be with her, Bob? You have no sensibility at all. But she
Yeah.
loves your money. Why do you want to be with somebody that's just after your money? I don't understand that, Bob. And I don't understand the way people think out here, these foreigners. If it ain't love, then fuck it. You could just rent somebody cheaper than spending all your money on this Filipino, man.
It's
Do what
better.
Ricky does. He rents
It's
his
better you
dates.
stick together because if you got some problems, so they if you sick or something, so they have some
Yeah, a
Filipinos take
caretaker.
care.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean, if
it.
that's what your relationship is, and it's a caretaker relationship, then fine. That's something that you set out to do, and that's fine. And if you want to blow your whole wad, and I don't mean
Because
semen,
if you always find finding some Filipina and then Filipina and then Filipina. When you sick, so nobody take care of you.
And when you have that age gap, even mine, just 20 years, it's not phenomenal. It's workable, doable. But let's face it, I'm older than her, and I don't know what the future brings. There could be some medical catastrophic thing that could happen to me. And just she will indeed turn into my caretaker.
If they're happy for being like that, so it's their choice.
Yeah, I mean, if they're happy in that financial arrangement, if that's what you got going,
Yeah, it's your
but it's
choice.
it's sad when there's not real love there. You call love is what? It's her love for money, and if you're saying that she likes to spend your money, it's putting up red flags right there, Mr. Cooper. That's putting up red flags right there. I'd rather be alone. I'd rather be totally alone. And I've had times when I've been alone. I don't care how many women I've had in my lifetime. I've had a lot of moments when I didn't have a date. I didn't have a girlfriend, and I was perfectly fine with it.
It's your
I'm not gonna go out and
choice.
fucking, hey, I'll give you $50 if you hang out with me at the club tonight. You want to go dancing or something or whatever. Fuck that shit. I'd rather be alone than be with a woman that is totally after your money, which mine is not. I'll guarantee that. I have reasons why I say that. So yeah, I mean, you could. What I'm saying is, man, you could do what you want, and that applies to any foreigner, not just you, Bob Cooper. But find real love, and don't make the dollar bill the denominator in the relationship, because that's a shallow
But
relationship.
you don't know. We you don't know. We get so know each other, then we get and love each other. So they be together for
Yeah, Alan
yeah,
Davis says if you're going to bitch about the money, Bob, you're in the wrong place. If you love her, take care of her. Good
yeah.
statement. Yeah.
If you love her, so that's it.
And you know what, guys? I'm not saying that there's no such thing as love with a great age gap. I'm not saying that doesn't exist. I'm sure it does. It must exist. But when you think of the feasibility of this, when you think of the, uh, uh, I don't know, run some stats on this or something. What is the odds that
You
she's
don't
with
know
you
the
for
Filipina if
love?
then the attitude if you don't stay together.
Because it really doesn't make sense that because like in America, and where I come from, born and raised, you generally dated somebody that was around your age, and you'd have all these talks about we're gonna have a oak rocking chair together when we're older. We're gonna be out on the porch. We're gonna grow old together. That was the whole concept of marriage and relationships back in America in the day. And out here, that really doesn't apply because the women that are going to be with men that are drastically older, and say she is really in love with him, and it is possible. Yes, it is possible. Doubtful, but it's possible. Let's go to the positive side and say this Filipina, this very young Filipina, really loves this very old guy. It's unfortunate for her. This love is not going to last because the great age gap in there. She's going to get hurt.
It's their
She's going to get her
choices.
heart hurt when he dies. She's not going to be able to spend the rest of her life. And the same goes with me and Gilda.
Even how you said no, but if you choose that person, so it's yours.
I mean, you could choose whoever you want, no matter what Gilda's saying, no matter what age they are. Okay, she chose a guy that was 20 years older than her. She knew my age when I met her. Well, at some point she did. She could look at me and know that I wasn't 30 years old or something. It was pretty obvious. You can't hide your age. You can hide your age sometimes pretty well. I've managed to do that sometimes when people would think I was, you know, a lot younger than my age, and it still happens. Not as often as it used to, because my aging is, it's becoming visible more so. But there was times, and up until not too really long ago, really, that most people had me down for at least 15 to 20 years younger than what I actually was. But that's stopped now because the aging process has taken over more. And now they might
But
say that you look
some
like you're in
Filipina
your
they like older
60s.
older guy than the younger guy.
And I'm like, now where maybe 5 years ago, they would say that, You look like you're in your late 50s. That hasn't happened anymore, okay? Because nature's taken over. Now, the best I'll get, and I'm glad to get that, is somebody will say that I'm looking like in my early 60s rather than being 70 years old, which I am, 70 plus. That's still a compliment. And I hear it all the time. That makes me feel good. It shows I'm doing something at least. Maybe I'm doing one bad thing, but I'm doing other things to take care of myself. You know, you still want to look good for yourself. You want to look good for your partner. Because when you're feeling good, you're going to look good. When you look good, you're feeling good. And why let yourself go like Robert, like Popeye? Why let yourself go like him and all these other clowns on here that are, drastically obese? Many of them on here that I've mentioned, they're all obese. They're all obese. They might as well just fuck around and get laid if they can get it up. They might as well because there really is no future with a woman. Because the fact is, when you're that obese, you don't have any longevity. There's not much longevity. And if you do certain things on top of your obesity, like smoke and drink, then your longevity is going down the hill. And I know my smoking is probably taking several years off my life. You know, it's either quit or deal with it, or it's just not quit and take your chances. But that's life in itself. I would like to quit. I don't want to go with this thing about smoking. In fact, I'm going to have one right now. We're talking about that. Thank you very much. I at least do things for myself. And these people, these creeps, these losers that like to point out people's faults all the time. Look at their own faults. Look at the lifestyle they're living. They're either getting into trouble, they're going to jail, running their mouths all the time. They're obese, they're unhealthy, they got high. You couldn't blame you, but it didn't have to be that way. Start taking care of yourself a lot better. Move your blood, get active, do something for yourself. For God's sakes, man. James Marshall says Bob Cooper is sexy. Bob Cooper says stinks too. You don't drink me on my ass and fucking pigs can fly. Yeah, okay. The hell you don't. The hell you don't. How many times we seen you drinking on your show? Give it a rest, Bob. Give it a rest. All right, what comments did I miss on here? I want to be fair about this. Alan Davis says, rent a house and move her family in and help them if you can. That's what we do when we love our Filipino women. So you want Bob to rent a house and move her family in and help them? That's what we do when we love our Filipino women. Heck with that shit. Bullshit to that. Mm-mm. We got 2 of her children there, and that's it. The others come to visit. And they're welcome anytime. It's going to be their house anyway if something happens to Gildan. They're Jimmy's house. Move over, let Jimmy take over. No, I don't think so, man. That's the reality of it. But, Bob is going to do, or any guy like Bob is going to do what they're going to do. They have to make the mistakes and realize that, do you remember Bob gave that story? He got taken in pretty big by some woman. Bob, why don't you share that story sometime again? Bob blew his whole fucking wad, and I'm not talking biological. He blew his whole fucking wad on a fucking woman, man. He got burned, man. Fuck, he was put into a fucking crematorium. Why don't you discuss that story, Bob? About me, I look like James Caan when he played in Misery. Bob says, "Yeah, I need the kids home for my woman." I don't know, Bob. You're delusional. You're another jokester on here. Well, your lies. You sure you're not Barry's brother? By blood somehow? Because you do have the demeanor of a fucking hillbilly, that's for goddamn sure. Anyway, enough of Bob. Yeah, the sum of $10,000. You got suckered. You got sucker punched, Bob.
That's a lot of money, $10,000. That's a lot of money. Filipino or American, that's still a lot of money. 10,000 is 10,000. How long does it take for somebody to raise $10,000 in a spurt? 10,000. That's a lot of money. All right, Alan, take care. Thanks for your participation. And we've been on there for a while, actually 45 minutes. But I'm saying there is a difference in the age gap, and it doesn't make sense for such a wide age gap. I see it all the time when I'm in town or I'm in Cebu, wherever I'm at. And I'm still amazed to this day after living out here so long. I laugh. I see a guy that looks like he could barely walk. He's all gray haired, grizzly with a beard, got a big ass tummy. Probably who knows when the last time he'd be able to see he's ever seen his shoes. He's got this hot babe on his arms. And you're going to tell me that's love? I'll have to disagree with you on that. I mean, I have my opinion, you have yours. That ain't no fucking love. That's bullshit. That's a crock of shit. It's called proper planning from the Filipina to find the old, and it's true. I've heard it on the shows. Even Philippine Antics, a lot of people talk about this. The family actually encourages the daughter to go out and find a rich foreigner because she feels you find the right sucker, that he's going to be building houses for the family. How many foreigners got stuck in that situation? Wow. Building houses. Tim K did that for Chrissy. Well, actually, it was his viewers' money. He was smarter than most. He just uses donators' money to buy his FJ Cruiser and all that shit. He's smart in that way, Tim. I'll give him credit for that. He's smart in that way. Heminger back. Frank, ask Gilda if she allows her daughters to date foreigners if they want, or if she prefers to find a Filipino man. I think her children prefer Filipinos. They see all the problems with the foreigners. And for those that are in a relationship, they're all in relationships with Filipinos, not foreigners. They're smart. All right, Bob. Take care of yourself, man. Money is not everything, Bob. I'm going to tell you that. If you have to buy a relationship, man, I mean, I'd rather be alone. I'll give you the truth. I'd rather be alone than to be with somebody that is the whole goal is about money. And I'll tell you what, when I met my girlfriend, she never asked me what I did for a living. She never asked me anything. She never asked me for money. She never asked me what my net worth was, what I have in the bank. Nothing. There was nothing like that. Nothing at all like that. I could gladly and clearly say that. I gotta definitely do my nails cut today. We're gonna find the nail cutters. So I don't know. I guess I got my own opinion about the age gap thing. It's a big topic matter all over YouTube all the time. And these guys, they're all boasting, like Paul in the Philippines, he's another one. He's a disaster about to happen, and he knows it. But he's the guy that they want to show their prowess. Car salesman, he still has that car salesman attitude. And I make note of things like this. Same as people make notes about me. I do the same. I can make notes about other people, come up with my own conclusions about who they are, what they're all about. It doesn't take much. But like in Paul's situation, how many times has he displayed his woman on there? And that's how he got his. Well, he was riding on the coattails of somebody else's popular channel, right? And that's how we got in on there and got all the subs. But, he used the tried and true formula for YouTube these days. I guess it's always been that way. Is to go put his woman, and I don't, I'll be honest with you, I don't find her attractive at all, but that's just my opinion. But he's displayed her with her bathing suit on there to get viewers. It's all about money. And what do you think it is with her? It's all about money with him. Remember, his old name was Old Dog New Tricks. Okay? New tricks. Those are the key words. New. That's exactly what he does. And he'll bait people to come on his show with some controversial topic matter. He'll have guests on there from other popular channels to promote his channel. That's all they do. They promote each channels back and forth. and he puts his woman on camera. And what happens is, since they get their own channel after being seen and with all the guys with their tongues hanging out, anything to do with Filipina, they're going to go to her channel. You know they're going to subscribe. That's the way they work it on here. Heminger says, I'd rather be in a shallow relationship than alone. Only ego would cause someone to suffer in loneliness over a P4P, relationship. I'd rather be alone. Actually, I'm the opposite. I'd rather be alone than be in a shallow relationship. I'm the opposite. Brevis wants to know the name of the tribe so he can investigate the 12-year-old rule. I bet he would. I bet he would. Bob Cooper's back. He said, look what happened to Fazio's young lady. Well, first of all, Bob, that was not his girlfriend. He liked displaying her because he was always trying to prove what a real man he was, whether it was tools, and she was a tool. That was never his official girlfriend. Let's just get that straight for people that don't understand. She was a companion, and she had some shit going on with her family that warranted her to have to live in the horrible conditions of Fazio's little shack. I don't know how she did it. I barely think he ever used that air conditioner. It was a cramped space. He had termites crawling around. Fazio had basically 12 or 13 layers of cardboard with some styrofoam or something as a bed. Big, fat, sweaty body with this young girl. He displayed her like she was a tool. He'd go out places and try to make people think that was his woman. It was not his woman. He was a companion, a friend, but it was not his girlfriend. Let's straighten that out. She went out on him. She claimed that she had to do something with her family, a wedding. She was out. She was already fucking around with that foreigner guy. You soon to forget that. He didn't know it. Although he claims, hey, I knew all about that. We discussed everything. No, he was floored when I introduced a picture of her sitting on an edge of a bed, looking cozy with this guy, this foreigner. He was floored by this. That's in part why Fazio was on the attack of me all the time. Because I not only exposed him, literally exposed him on some videos recorded of him when he thought the camera was off and he was naked, but exposed him, exposed his girlfriend, really, in a way that, he thought in his mind that that was his girlfriend. In his mind, because, he had this big thing about what a real man is, being a real man. Operate a tool, you're a real man. Guys that don't use tools are not real men. He had no fucking clue what a real man was. And that wasn't his girlfriend. Well, she used to make a trip supposedly to go see her family. She was seeing guys. And she came across that one guy at a wedding thing for her friend or cousin, whatever it was. And while that was going on, Fazio was thinking and believing everything she said. The fact was, she got together with this guy, proven by the photo I introduced on there. And it went on from there. He was shocked. But then, to hide his embarrassment, he said, we talked to each other about everything. I knew she was seeing this guy, and, that was okay. No, it wasn't. He was floored. That's when all the bitterness came in. The timing on this, if you remember, Fazio was always pretty bitter. But when that happened with his so-called fictitious girlfriend, that's when you saw his demeanor change for the worst. That's when he became really ugly, and he got really ugly with me.
It's already past.
I don't care if it's already passed. I'm talking about it. And I don't give a shit what anybody thinks. They're big on talking about other people, but I'm putting a mirror in front of these people. Absolutely. Okay, how much a shallow relationship? Okay, I got to catch up on the comments. No, Mrs. Heminger says nothing better than a shallow relationship. Jim Paglia, Jet Magdalene, Bob Cooper, one of the most underrated vlogs in his genre, true legend in his own mind. Bob Cooper says she's an American babysitter. No to 5 kids and a hillbilly. Huh? Hello, Jet. That sounds very familiar. I think I remember that. You're referring to, with Fazio. Okay. Well, it was sad for Fazio. It was because he wasted his whole life being a miser. I mean, this guy could pinch the picture off a peso, He'd argue with trike drivers over 1 or 2 peso discrepancy or something, Did he not? He'd argue with people in a restaurant just because he frequented one restaurant. He expected that they owed him something. Like, how about a free meal? I've been coming here giving you business for how many years? But what did he do with the prawn shop? He was bringing plastic bags, hiding them in his backpack, and piling in these fucking prawns in his bag to take home. And he was eating them whole with fins, everything on them, which was very dangerous to do. Then it got to a point that they kicked him out of the prawn shop. I forgot what they called it. You noticed that later on. He never talked about it again because he was not allowed to go there. He was stealing their prawn, and he was bad for business. The prawn farm, yes. That was funny, wasn't it? The prawn farm adventures of Michael Fazio. That was hilarious. That was absolutely hilarious. So all these people that like pointing fingers or find fault at everybody, but listen to these stories. I mean, they're not story, they're reality. These are the stupid things that some YouTubers have done, which foreigners have done. Yeah, you could display any woman you want on your arm. Does that mean that the woman is really interested in you? Like, what Pig Nose does. He admits he's a fat, ugly looking slob with a fucking pig nose and a big ass fucking belly, enough to get a zip code, a toupee, and he takes out his money and he buys them for the night. To me, and that's just me, that's a sad life. But, you can do whatever you want with your money. That's true. But to get a real woman to be really interested in him in a loving relationship, that's never going to happen. He's not going to grow old because he really doesn't have much time. I truly believe that. I made an assessment of his health situation. I don't have to be a doctor, and I don't have to put him under an MRI. He's a disaster waiting to happen. So no matter what shit he's done to me behind the scenes and all that, I know better that he's not going to make it to my age. There's about a 10-year difference. He's not going to make it to my age. There's no fucking way. Mr. Loser says Fazio really wasted the last years of his life. He should have met a woman close to his age for a nice relationship. But no, foreigners don't want to do that. Rain Cats and Dog says compassion and decorum is real man, not boasting of sexual things. Well, most of the people that boast about their sexual prowess are really not getting any. And like Jasper in the Philippines, he's one of, there's a lot of people actually. Look at Popeye, who's simulcasting right now. Wow, what a poor example of manhood. He hasn't been laid since he's been married. And how many decades has that been? So he goes on YouTube. He likes to look at other people's women. He only wishes he could have somebody like Gilda. He only wishes. And she's not 20 years old or 30. She's 50. She turned 50 in January. And she's still holding out really good. That's what you want. You don't want somebody with an age gap of 40, 50 years. I mean, come on, get fucking real. It's all about show. Look what I've got. Look what I got. Look what I have on my arm. It's all eye candy. That's what Ricky does. And other people like him. It's all eye candy. Yeah, I see what you got. And I haven't seen one woman on there, except one of them I thought was okay. She was okay. The one that smoked, we went to TGIF with, she was okay. That's about the only one. But the fact is that every woman that he's been with, it all had to do with money. He could not secure a real relationship no matter how hard he tried. You can't change the spots on a leopard to be awfully hard. It's just not going to happen, in other words. But I guess a person has to do what they have to do to get companionship. I don't, I don't uh, totally disagree with that. That for some people, that the only way to can get companionship is to basically bait them with money. I mean, loneliness is a harsh thing. I think we've all had lonely moments in our life, and I've had my moments, but I'm not going to do that. I've never been or did anything in that direction. You hang out with me, and I'll buy you this, and I'll buy you that, and I'll buy you this, and I'll buy you that. No, that never happened with me. It would never happen. I understand about your quest to end your loneliness because, like Fazio, he was a very lonely man. And he died a lonely man. He did everything the wrong way in his life. So did Mr. Dummy. Mr. Dummy has done everything is wrong in his life. Everything. There's not anything he did right in his life. Beat up his wife over the kids, got in trouble all the time, went to jail for 6 months for assaulting his wife, comes to the Philippines. From the first day he's there, he's destroying people's lives all the way for 10 years that he's been in the Philippines, destroying the lives of Filipinos and even Filipinos and even other foreigners. He'll say, I've never taken anybody money. Who do I owe money to? Show me. You don't have to show us anything. We know your history. He's taken advantage of a lot of people. A lot of people. It's people like this that do belong behind bars. And Miss Heminger said Fazio tried to bang Daisy but got rejected. Andy was found on a Ladyboy Cam site. I heard about that. Andy is a freak. I won't argue on that. Jet says, I think Big Head Larry too. Oh, Larry, that's a character right there. Whoa. Stefan, welcome aboard. Even Barry found a woman in the Philippines. Ricky could, if he just calmed down, it was normal. Well, first of all, society would say, how do you define normal? But there's always been argument on what's normal. Who actually defines that terminology? But no, if you had to define him, I'd have to say, without a scientific study of any sort, he's not normal. But he is who he is. And I think these people who like to find fault with people like myself and others, I could say that I feel sorry for them in a certain way because life is so precious and why waste it doing the things that they do and the time they spend on YouTube attacking other people constantly. I mean, every single time they don't come up with topic matter like I do. I got my moments where there's moments of truth where I'm telling it like it is and people don't like it. That's too fucking bad and too sad. I'd rather tell the truth than give a big bullshit story. Nobody has to really prove themselves on here. You're not obligated to prove yourself in any form or way. You're not. Neither am I. But the truth always prevails, no matter what happens. Stick to somebody's show, listen to them for a while, you'll know the truth. You'll catch them in a lie how many times when they gave you a different statement. Could be a day earlier than that, they gave you a whole different statement about something. You're either married or you're not married, and they don't want to show their certificate, they're not married. And when a person keeps on making references, my girlfriend, instead of saying my wife, well, you obviously know, when the lips are moving, it's lying. We become used to that after a while. Hamish says, I knew something was off with Andy. Andy is one of those psycho expats. He's on a crazy check. Hamish says, I hope Trump kicks Ricky and Andy off their VA scam. Well, don't forget about the big dummy. Don't forget to contact Social Security on him. Take away his money. He's gone. It's over with. It's done. No matter what. It's over. Game over. Not that he has much of a future to look forward to anyway, having money or not money. But take away Social Security. Boy, you want to talk about begging? You'll see begging that you've never seen before. If his SSDI was really taken off, he wouldn't be able to afford these grab mails. There's no fucking way. His girlfriend ain't providing all that. She's helping him with some things, but He's in a position where he refuses to admit to his girlfriend that he's getting this money because he wants to get all the freebies that he possibly can. All the freebies that he possibly can. Keeping it secret, even from his so-called girlfriend slash wife. The secrets he has held from her is incredible. All the escapades since he moved into this country, if she really knew the things that he did, maybe that would be a wake-up call for her, but I seem to doubt it because there's some unexplained, it's like unexplained mystery show. Unexplained mysteries. Why would a woman want to be with somebody like him? It's a mystery. There's got to be something to that, right? But I don't want to concentrate on her. She's caused enough trouble. Not my favorite person on the earth right now. Let's see. Miss Hemminger says, he told me he doesn't handle that specifically in his job and tried to get in trouble pushing coworker to do it. I don't know who you were talking about. Believe me, if I could get this relative to kick Bummer off, I would, but he didn't want to do it. A relative? Miss Hemminger says he works for Social Security, but his task is not in charge of investigating fraud. So he would have to ask a fellow employer on his behalf. Well, go for it, man. Go for broke. He deserves it. Hey, it's the 7th today. I'm still here. Dummy, I'm still here. No armed guards at my door with long arms and handcuffs. I'm still here, and I'm going to remain here. He just doesn't get it. It's wishful thinking on Big Dummy's part. Little dummy, actually. God, he's getting so big, he's going to need his own fucking zip code pretty soon. I'll tell you that. Eat them burgers, boy. Drink that Sprite and Coca-Cola, boy. And he does drink it his cell. I heard him just the other day. I got to get another bottle. I heard it with my own ears. There's a little favor system that's going on between him and the guards. There's got to be. Because how could anybody get away with that shit? But lo and behold, his future is coming up real soon where his stuff is going to be taken away. And if you think he's in bad shape mentally and having a nervous breakdown now, wait till he gets his toys taken away from him. Yeah, I like to be there with a camera, secret camera, to see that. He'd be pacing in his cell, banging his head against the fucking wall, screaming at the top of his lungs. Of course, it's going to cause him to cough his lungs out, but he'll make an effort to scream at the top of his lungs, yelling at the world, fuck you, Frank. Fuck you, Frank. I'm going to kill you, Frank. Wait till I get out of here. You're dead, Frank. You're dead, Frank. Oh, absolutely. He's doing that now. He does that now. Don't have to wait for him to go out of his. He's already gone out of his fucking mind. Hemminger says, I really like to see Ricky Licky and Andy and Tim K kicked off, but I know no one in Virginia. Hemminger says, Popeye is mad. You're talking about his buddy Fazio. Man, if you knew what that guy did behind the scenes, guys, and most of you don't know what he was involved with when it comes regards to me. You don't realize how instrumental he was and how he was in touch with my tenants all the time, like that was his best buddies, sharing stories and this and that, and planning and plotting flyers to go out in the neighborhood. Fazio was responsible for all of that. Michael Fazio. So when I heard that he passed away, sorry guys, and it may sound like I'm cold, I don't really care. I wasn't going to shed a tear for his demise. The way I looked at it, one less fucking troll. You don't know what went on behind the scenes. Some of you might, because you would probably be involved with it. But you don't know the whole story, what was behind the scenes with this guy. No idea, most of you. Hemminger says Fazio was a terrorist, Frank. He literally made it where you had to flee. Oh, bullshit. I did not flee Hawaii. Let me get that straight, Hemminger. I was there over a year. not expecting to be there that long. COVID came up. I couldn't leave the country. I didn't flee from the situation with my tenants. I already worked on the house, painted it, did what I had to do, found a realtor to get it sold. I was ready to go. And when the Philippines opened up again, I did not hesitate to get all the qualifications together and get a ticket and say bye bye, Hawaii. I did not flee. I want to get that straight. I did not flee Hawaii like Big Dummy flee the United States and other people have. I did not flee anything. Just want to get that straight. Fazio made you a fugitive due to that lawsuit. What he did was it was unforgivable, and you're still paying the price. What fugitive? It was a civil case. What fugitive? Not a criminal case. It was, civil. Not a fugitive. I could go to Hawaii anytime I want. I'm not going to get arrested because it went to a collection agency. You don't get arrested for that. They fucking lost out because they couldn't attach themselves to my bank account. They weren't allowed to do that. So they lost. You can say, I owe this, I owe that. They ain't going to get it. And they never will. And it's not a crime that they can't get to my money. Not at all. It's their loss for being such fucking asswipes. How much money did they spend on their lawyer? Yeah, think about that too. Now I think I heard their relationship was broken up. They had a lot of domestic problems, more than I've ever said. I used to hear this all the time. What was going on in that house, but that's not the topic matter here. Just trying to straight out Mrs. Heminger. I did not flee Hawaii at all. I'll say it again. When it opened up, I took advantage of it. I got my real estate deal going. It was time to go. Finished what I had to do with the house, and that was it. There's nothing more to that story. What assets? What assets do I have in Hawaii? I don't have any assets in Hawaii, Mrs. Heminger. I'm paying my price because I can't leave it. Leave what? In Hawaii, now Cosa Fazio. Leave what? I don't know what you're talking about. What assets did I have in Hawaii other than my house? I didn't own any other land or properties in Hawaii. What assets? I didn't have any assets in Hawaii or anywhere in America. One account, one bank. That was it. And protected by the law. The money that would be put into my Social Security was protected. They couldn't take that out unless 2 months went by and you still had money in your account. Then they could go into your account. Maybe you didn't know that. Of course, I always make sure my account was empty. Of course, I take out my Social Security as it comes in. There's nothing in the bank. But any money you have in a bank after 2 months is fair game. That's how it works. You learn something every day. I don't keep money in that account. I just use that account to service my Social Security. That's it. That money was transferred to Philippines, Mrs. Heminger. That never went into my Hawaii bank account. I'm not that stupid. No, the money from the house was electronic transfer to my bank here in the Philippines. No assets other than the money from the house. Well, I hope I answered your question. Travel, learn, repeat. I just want to let you know that the big dog strategies, he's got that big brrr from a rap group that's out now. He is not original. Oh, really? Well, I don't listen to rap crap anyway. It becomes habit forming if you keep on saying that. That's why that guy is saying it a lot. I don't know if that guy's black or white. I have no idea what the hell he is. Heminger said, you wouldn't have left it in Hawaii, all that money, if not for Fazio's lawsuit. No, I would not leave money in a bank in Hawaii anyway. if I wasn't going to live in Hawaii. Why would I do that? I just keep it for the Social Security. I would have thought, had you ever been sued, you would have left most of it in a bank in Hawaii after selling. Hell no. You underestimate my intelligence. Why would I do something like that? Fully knowing that they can attach to my assets. You take my you take me for granted. Oh, the FDIC insurance. I don't know how much you think I got from the house, but it was, it was lucrative. I wasn't going to get rich on it. That's for sure. That's what I'm saying, Frank. Because of the lawsuit, you couldn't keep it in Hawaii. Oh yeah, it would be stupid to do that. Absolutely, I have to agree with you on that. Yeah, it would be stupid for me to leave money in a bank in Hawaii. It's a done deal for the tenants. It's done. It's over with. They'll never see a dime of my money ever. All that for nothing. All that bullshit. Their strategy. Remember, I said they were pros at what they did, and I wasn't the first victim. Yeah, it cost me money. It cost me money. Not too much for the lawyer on this thing, but it cost me money because I had to fix up the place in order to sell it. They did do some damage, and I estimated about 8,000 American dollars on that. New tiles, the labor, materials, painting, replacing things, carpeting to tile. Yeah, it probably cost me around 8,000, and they had owed me 4 months rent on top of that. So that's about 6,000. So yeah, a loss of about 14,000 if you really think about it. Yeah, 500,000 in a Philippines bank. You're protected up to 500,000 pesos. That's correct. That's why you have to have multiple bank accounts. There's other ways of doing it too, but I'm not really highly technical on that. Um, I'm not rich. I'm not worried about how much money I have. We have our own bank accounts too, besides a joint account, me and her. But we're not going to go into detail on that. How much this, or how much her? That's kind of our personal business. If you think I'm broke, then keep on saying I'm broke. But I'm not sure how broke I could be if I could afford my lawyer all this time and I could afford all the other amenities, having a house, having be able to buy food, go back and forth to Cebu, go to the malls to buy stuff. Uh, Not giving my girl a ring with an LED light in it. When she gets something like jewelry from me, it's the real McCoy. It's not made of tin. So where's this me being broke? I don't know where that comes from. I'm always buying things. I'm always having money for the lawyer. How am I broke? I don't know. But if you say so, you probably do. So okay, you probably do like 50K a bank and multiple banks. Yeah, you have to do that. As Heminger says, I'd be sweating wearing 350,000 US in one wire to a PH bank. It worked. No, it worked. Jimmy Akatu, whatever. Frisbee said he wants you to pay him 700,000 pesos for his food. I heard that. I did hear that. Pay you shit, motherfucker. Pay for his food. He's used to being on a welfare system. I'm not your welfare office. Your food is your own responsibility. It has nothing to do with me. You got yourself in that situation. You pay for your dumbass fucking food. Your highly caloric, sugary, fatty cholesterol food that made you need your own fucking zip code these days. Yeah, I heard that. That was one on the funny things, the funny list that I could definitely put down. That was one of the yeah, that was one of them. I thought was hilarious. I owe him $500,000 or pesos or something like that. Yeah, right. Pigs can fly. Yeah, pay for his fucking food. No, you got other people paying for your food. He's going to collect 500,000. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Heaven says, Frank, would you bring Fazio back for a month from the grave just so you could have some drama with him? No, I wouldn't. I'm glad he's gone. Hopefully, he's going to a better place. If there is such thing as such, he's gone. He's dead. He's irrelevant. Like everybody else will be in time. We all become irrelevant when you're dead. Haven't you said you lived rent free in Fazio's head? Because on his deathbed, the mushroom logo is on the channel. That's just sad. Dying alone with you on his mind. I know, isn't that sad? I think a lot of people like here is going to do the same thing, such as a big dummy. He lives and breathes me, that's for sure. It's sad to go to your grave like that, not knowing real love, not having real love. That's sad. And I feel really sad for these people all over the world that are living in not just hospices because they're illness, but old folks' homes where all their relatives have died and their loved ones, and they got nobody to come to visit them when other people might. Some of them might have family members that are still alive, and you're alone in there. And nobody to visit you except the staff. Who the hell wants to leave this world that way? I don't. And I want to make sure I would not leave this world that way. Have a hand to hold when your time is going. That's what it's all about. But to go out alone like these people did, yeah, that's pretty sad, man. Hammer just says, Frank, you're the only one with camaraderie on your channel. Why do people say you have no supporters? It's Popeye, Ricky, Brevis, and Raw Deal that have no camaraderie and supporters. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Look, there's a lot of people that listen to me. Like a guy says all the time, they put up their feet on the desk and they listen to my show, turn up the speakers, and because I've always have something to talk about. I'm not like fucking Robert Popeye. It does nothing with his life. From what I know, maybe he does other things with his life, but he don't talk about it. One wouldn't know. But I come to the conclusion because of the time he has on his hands to create these little skits and having to spend the time, it could be more productive than to do a simulcast with me on like he's doing right now. Is pretty sad. It's really sad. I could basically come to a conclusion that his life is not very exciting. And he just gave up the fact of ever having a woman in his life because he can't get one. I think he has health conditions. I know by his graspiness and how he just cough at the end of a sentence that he's a smoker. I'm sure he is. I'm sure he's a drinker. 'Cause we've heard him on there drunk before. You know when Popeye's drunk. You could listen to him, he's yelling at people. You know when he's drunk. He's a drinker and he's a smoker. Just a guy who criticizes me for smoking and a lot of other things and choice of women or something, but he doesn't have what I have and he never will. And that's why he's so bitter. That's why he's doing a simulcast right now. He's a bitter old man. You're sipping your latte. Well, I didn't finish my tea. I don't think I did. Hammer says you're having your feet on the desk now. LOL. Don't stream too long. You'll run into bingo night for Popeye. I know. I know. I can't interfere with that. Well, anyway, I've been on here long enough. Looks like an hour and 24 minutes. And I think that's a fair amount of time to spend on here. But we had a little fun. We got some factoids out. Great show. Great show. Um, Time will tell with a lot of things that's going on in the community. Surely will. And the big dummy's going to definitely get what's coming to him. And the unfortunate thing about him is he's so dependent on his cell phone that imagine when there weren't any cell phones, what would you do? Before there were cell phones, people adjusted, but they become so attached. We all have in one way or another, even me. It's a world of information in your hand. It is an absolute world of information. You can watch movies, You could look up things to learn. You could know current events that are going on in the world. It's a fantastic tool. I'll be the first to admit it. But when you misuse that cellular phone to do the things that the big dummy was doing, you're defeating the whole purpose of your situation. You're not helping yourself. But it's going to be unfortunate for him that he is most likely going to have it taken away for real this time. They were laughing. They said, "What's a manifestation in legal terms?" It's a written document that basically is going to give truth to some facts that are going on, what he's been doing with his phone. It's a legal form of sorts. And that'll be, of course, run over to DOJ and immigration, whatever. And they will take his phone away. And all the little frivolities, such as his, they won't touch his ice maker, but they'll take his fucking Xbox and shit like that. They can't own it, but they could take it away. So I encourage him. He wants to attack me some more. He's got time, a little bit of time to do it, and he will. There's nothing stopping him from that. Like he said, I'm not going to stop. This is exactly the videos and stuff that's going to be attached to that so-called manifestation. That's what they needed. That's what they got. Okay, with that being said, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate the dialogue and the support. And the one thing I've realized the whole time I've ever been on YouTube, I've always had support from a lot of people. People always love listening to my shows because I'm real. I kind of tell it like it is, and that's what you should do. I'm an East Coast person, especially a New Yorker. That's who we are. I'm very proud of it. Speak what's on your mind. Don't bullshit people. Just tell the truth. Truth hurts a lot of people. People are very sensitive about the truth. And people fear people knowing things about them. When the truth comes out, they truly get their feelings hurt. I mean, truly get their feelings hurt. Then they fight back at you for telling some kind of a truism, as I call it. They don't want to hear the truth about themselves. And that's why they go on the offense. That's exactly why. Okay. Long enough, guys. Take care. And hey, it's the 7th. The 7th. Whoop, I better check outside. I'll bring you with me. Uh-oh. 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 I better go outside. Anybody out there? Let's go see. After that, I'm going to take a pee. Okay. Where is everybody? Where is everybody? My dogs are here. See how they are? People just come by here, man. They let us know. They let us know. They're no German shepherds like the guy up the block, but they're ominous in their own way. Let me tell you, you'd have to know them. They're very protective of me and everybody in here. Don't see no cops around. Nope. No paddy wagon, if you want to call it that. I don't see anything. You see anything? I don't see anything. It's another day in paradise. Yeah, I hear that. Okay, good. Take care, guys, really. And I mean that. Take care. No matter who you are, except for that one big dummy.
All right, welcome in, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Yeah, here we go. Let's talk about the truth. Let's talk about the truth. Okay, let's see. Frank sat an 8-year-old boy on his lap and sang about another man's penis. That's the truth. That's the truth. He did that. Frank, on his show, by his own demonstration, as he would say, trampled over Michael Fazio's grave. That's the truth. Now, here's something that puzzles me. Why does Frank get to litigate this case he has with Barry on YouTube, but Barry doesn't get to litigate it on YouTube? Why? Why is that? Why is he trying to shut Barry up all the time? I mean, well, he says because he's committing more cyber libel. Why does Frank want to take all of Barry's money away? Why? What will that get Frank? That'll get Frank nothing. Okay? These are answers I would love, because he comes on YouTube and what does he do? He insults Barry. He commits cyber libel according to Philippine laws against Barry. He has multiple problems waiting for himself back in the United States, like owing $60,000 on a lawsuit. He has multiple bankruptcies, but he has topical matter. This is all topical matter. Now he's talking about a new YouTuber. I don't even know this YouTuber he's talking about, but he's talking shit about the new YouTuber and comparing him to Barry. This guy always finds new avenues to get himself in trouble with. If that YouTuber you're talking about is in Philippines and he gets wind of your bullshit, Mr. Crabwalker, holy crap on a cracker. He's gonna rip your fucking head off and shit down your throat, put your head back on so you could fucking taste it. Okay? I would be careful about the YouTubers you talk about. And why do I simulcast you? Well, here's the reason why I simulcast you once in a while. I can't catch all your shit. I've missed about 3 or 4 days of your shit. Because, dude, the brain can only take so much. So here's why I simulcast you, Frank. Because I know you're going to commit cyber libel. And I have the channel on which you did it on. And so others in Philippines can use it. That's why I do it. And everybody in the live chat seems to like it. And they get to say what they want to say. Now, Frank, you're talking about how great you are and everything. I do not see one channel supporting you. You have a couple of flying monkeys in your goddamn live chat. That's about it. Okay? And here's an interesting comment by Steve25901. Noah and Anthony are edging listening to this. Those are your two flying monkeys. Okay? And then you have Heminger, if that's the real Heminger. I have no fucking idea. I have no interest in trying to find out whether it is or not, Frank. But you got Heminger in there leading you on, taking you down the primrose lane. You also have Mark Cately in there. Okay? Mark Cately is a known pedophile in the Philippines, has been arrested and convicted and sent to jail. And about a year or so ago, he got out. So I guess pedophiles stick together, don't they, Frank? Like Mark Cately likes young underage little girls, went to jail for it. You like to put little boys on your lap and sing about another man's penis to them. God only knows what you were doing to that little boy while he was sitting on your lap. I think you have a lot to answer for, Frank. A lot. See, Frank, the difference between me and you is, I don't block people. Everybody can see your comment. Everybody can respond to you. See, Frank, the difference between me and you had 17 people listening to your shit. I have 43. And I'll tell you another thing, Frank. You're a prick. You're a bully. You're just picking on Barry because he can't do anything. And it makes you feel good. When you got him put in jail after paying the 5,000 pesos to have him followed, and all the crying and whining you did to BI, you should have dropped the mic. Okay? Because what does it cost you, Frank? You are now on hold departure, Frank. Hold departure. You cannot leave the country. That means for every month you're on hold departure, you're going to have to pay a 2% fine on your visa. And Frank, you don't live in Philippines. You're not a resident. You're on a tourist visa. You're a tourist. You're a tourist, and that's it. You don't have an SSV visa. You have none of that shit. You are a fucking tourist. You can't afford to be a resident. You don't have the money for it, Frank. Okay? So quit lying to people, telling people that you live in Philippines. Because you don't. You're just a tourist there. Your 50-year-old girlfriend owns the house. You don't own it. You just paid for it. Okay? Frank, you have ED. You can't get it up. You can't fuck. Can't do shit. Okay? I don't even know why you're with Gilda. Gilda's probably, when she takes her sabbaticals to Cebu alone, is probably fucking her husband, Jimmy. And when she comes home, she lets you eat her out and you give Jimmy a blowjob by proxy. See, justice seeker, you're not such a justice seeker, are you? You're a fucking idiot. Eh? You're a fucking buffoon. You're making all of Philippine genre laugh at your fucking ass. You're an undesirable. You're a fucking idiot. And see, you can't call the police and tell them to take my phone away now, can you, Frank? I know that fucking hurts you, doesn't it? Huh? Yes, I have to say, Mr. Bill is correct. How about justice for Kaleo? Okay? So, Frank, do you really love fondling little boys? Huh? I think that's your thing, right? See, Frank, I can do the same shit. I can make up stories too. I can mix it with the truth and lies, and nobody knows which is which. I could destroy your fucking reputation. I can make you look like a fucking idiot. But the difference between me and you, Frank, when I turn the knob to the left and turn YouTube off, that's it. I go off and live my life. See, Frank, I don't give you information about me. I don't sit on here talk about my family. I don't talk about my eating habits. I don't talk about whatever I do. Because if I do, you just take it and turn it around and turn it into lies. That's what you do with everybody. Okay? And Frank, I know it fucking bothers you that this case that Shaw has on you is hanging over your head. And you know what, Frank? They are going to take their fucking time on adjudicating it. And once you're kicked out, that's it. You won't be coming back. And I'll tell you why. Because that charge sheet says undesirable. They got you marked as an undesirable. And if they sign off and kick you out, that's it. You'll have to wait a year before you can ask for forgiveness and please can I come back in? And that they'll just take you down the primrose lane and soon you'll be 72, then you'll be 73, then you'll be 74, you'll be 75, and you'll still be begging to get back in the Philippines. And you'll die in a nursing home back in the United States. Okay? And what about justice for Pepita? You killed that dog, Frank. Under very suspicious circumstances, that dog died, Frank. I think you killed that dog. Yeah, I think Frank killed Pepita, to tell you the truth. I really do. Because, all I got to do is listen to Frank, and you can figure out who he is in a flash. He's a dog killer, he's a pedophile. He likes to give Jimmy a blowjob by proxy when he goes down on fucking Gilda. Yeah, I could say all that shit in the United States. And I tell you what, Frank, I dare you, seeing how you got so much money, come back to the United States and file a lawsuit against me. I dare you. Come on, Frank. We'll go to court. We'll see what happens when I have my lawyer, have your lawyer, go blind on motions and paperwork from 3 ways to Sunday. I'll do to you what you did to Barry. Because you can't afford to come back to the United States. You cannot afford to live in the United States. Can't live on the United States on $1,400 a month. Oh, that's nursing home money. You might as well sign up for Medicare or Medicaid. Contact a nursing home and let them know you're coming. Because, they're going to take their time. And soon they're going to give you an answer. They're going to escort you to the airport, and it's going to be bye-bye you. Frank will fly his lawyer out from Philippines. uh, it's sad. It's really sad that you won't let Barry go. You just won't let it go. You're going to let that guy languish there, all because you're mad. And Frank, I've heard you say that you do not care what he says while he's in the United States. So, Frank, my question is, why do you care what he says when he's in Philippines then? What's the difference, Frank? Help me out with that. Please help me out with that. If you don't care what he says when he goes back to the United States, why do you care now what he says in Philippines? I mean, that is, you're the one who said it. You said, I don't care what he says when he goes back to the United States. But yet you want to fuck with him here for what he said in the Philippines. I think you're just a big bully, mean piece of shit. That's what you are, Frank. You're a bully. You're a mean piece of shit. You're a fucking idiot. You're a vengeful little asshole. Yeah, picking on the less fortunate makes him tough. Not a tough guy. You're fucking nobody. You've always been a fucking nobody. And you will die a fucking nobody. Right? And I guarantee you, there have been many times I've been mad at Mr. Fazio. But my God, the guy is dead and you keep droning on about him. It's 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 poor form, old boy. And I truly mean that when I say old boy. Right? Because you are a fucking boy. Mentally, you are a fucking adolescent. You are a goddamn boy. Right? See, and I can sit here from the comfort of the United States and say this shit. And there's not a fucking thing you can do about it. And I can say that with confidence. If you want to do something about it, fly into Tampa International Airport and I'll fucking pick you up. Okay? Because my dogs come to me. I've been to Philippines. See, the difference between me and you is when I was in the Philippines, I was in my 20s and 30s, having a great time. You were there in your Philippines in your 70s, and your dick doesn't work. You bought a house from an old bar girl who has 8 fucking kids and an Arby's roast beef sandwich for a pussy. That's what you've done. You are the fucking laughing stock of the Philippines, Frank. You are. It's as simple as that. Right? So tell me, Frank, are you having fun fucking with Barry because it got you in trouble? And you keep shoving Barry in that corner. He's gonna fucking come out of that corner one of these days and he's gonna rip your fucking jugular out. And that's what happens when you corner a rat, Frank. you should be very careful. You should watch your step. You should actually shut your mouth because you're damaging yourself. Dude, you think Ricky and the rest of them are not fucking sending all the shit you say about Barry, all the shit you say about Shaw to the BI? They're doing the same shit you're doing. They know how to work the system too. Okay? Because frankly, those two guys, they don't give two shits about Barry. They want to see you get thrown out because Barry's already taken care of. See? Barry's in detention. And guess what? Someday Barry's going home. But Barry's like you. He's his own worst enemy. He keeps opening his mouth, saying bad things about BI, saying bad things about the embassy, saying bad things about you. But 90% of the bad things he says about you are true, Frank. Uh, yeah, put the lawsuit on my desk. Sorry about that, Mr. Tux. It's just a good analogy. Oh my God, like a baby crying in a whole fight. And Frank, you're your own worst enemy. They're gonna look at all those superfluous complaints that you put in against Barry, and when they come to make their decision to throw you out, that's gonna play a big part too. That's going to play a real big part. They're going to say, this guy's a pain in the fucking balls. Let's get rid of him. Let's put him on a plane and get him the fuck out of here. Dude, neither one of you, neither you or Barry, know when to shut your fucking mouth. You just got to keep going. Eh? So it's like this, Frank. You sat there and you talked about the same shit for 2 hours. 2 hours. And you started getting yourself into trouble with a new channel. How many enemies do you think you can make, Frank, before somebody comes up and knocks your head off your shoulders? Eh? It's that big fucking guinea wop mouth of yours that's gonna be the undoing of you. Guaranteed. Right? And Frank, as for your little ear surgeries, when you were a kid or whatever, if you learn how to change your sheets and your pillowcases, you wouldn't have developed acne in your ear that turned abscess. Okay? Hygiene is most important, Frank. Okay? Yeah, I saw that shit, Mr. Bill. That was a fucking joke. That was a fucking joke. See, Frank, I'll never tell you anything about me, man. You're gonna have to guess, make up shit, fucking lie to your listeners. But Frank, I can always count on you to put your fucking business out there. And I appreciate that. And I'm pretty sure Big Shot Travel appreciates it. And I'm pretty sure fucking Drew Naughty appreciates it. So, Frank, you really should get the fuck off YouTube and shut your fucking mouth. because the clock is ticking. And you will just have to sit and wait until they make a decision, Frank. And Frank, they're not going to be in a hurry to make a decision because your lawyer's getting paid. You got a case going. Right? That's the only thing keeping you in the Philippines right now is that case, more than likely. They've already probably made a decision, but said, hey, we'll just hold it right here till he finishes the case. We want to see our lawyer friends get paid. That's how it works in Philippines, man. They don't call it the Filipino mafia for nothing, eh? Because when you pay the lawyer, the judge gets a cut. Everybody else gets a cut, eh? You just don't understand. And yes, Frank, it's very true. The lawyer's always going to tell you what you want to hear, so he keeps getting paid, eh? At least I have Bob money. Really, Justice Seeker. Dude, 1,400 a month ain't much, man. I know you gotta squeeze that shit. I know you gotta squeeze it. Pinch every fucking penny. You know where every fucking penny goes, man. I mean, I don't think you're gonna be able to buy your pedophilia books anymore. No, I think you're gonna have to cut back on that shit. I mean, because usually guys like you who have ED, their dicks don't work. They either turn to eating pussy or pedophilia. Which is it with you? Okay? Which is it with you? I have no idea, right? See that, Frank? He's been in there 678 days and 19 hours. Hey, Frank. Frank, you ain't got much time left, man. I've already told everybody Bama's going to be sitting there 7 to 10 years before anything happens. And not because of you, Frank. It's because of Bama. Because of Bama's big mouth. Bama doesn't know when to shut up. Eh? I've even gone on Bama's show and told him, you need to shut the fuck up. You need to just be quiet, let your lawyer do what your lawyer's got to do. But no, no. And then you, Frank. What makes you any better when you come on YouTube and talk about Bama? Why do you have the right to litigate this case in the public YouTube forum and Bama doesn't? What makes you so special that you could commit cyber libel against Bama? Those are the Philippine laws. Answer those questions, Frank. You cannot answer those questions because you know you're wrong. Okay? And dude, yes, Mr. Bill, that puppet show was something else, man. Exactly. That's why I'm just like, I had no words. I could barely say anything about that shit. Him talking about himself in the third person, what a fucking puppet. That was beyond the fucking pale. There are no words for that, Frank. I just let that stand alone on my channel. Eh? So, Frank, I tell you what, man. Let's see how fucking brave you are, man. See how brave you fucking are, man. There you go, Frank. That's for you. Come on up here, motherfucker. Come on up here and explain to me why you get to litigate this case in public, but Bama doesn't. Can you do that? Have you got the balls to do it? Have you got enough data on your phone or Would you like me to send you a super chat so you can buy a load? See, that's the difference between my channel and your channel, Frank. I invite people on. I let people say what they want in the live chat, and they enjoy it. So, Frank, essentially, you're in jail. You're stuck there on that island. If you were to have an emergency back home in the United States, if you have a medical emergency and need to get back to the United States to get taken care of, you can't go. You're on hold departure. What we in the Navy call legal hold. You can't leave the country. You can't get an exit clearance. You're fucked. Hard. So fucking hard, it's ridiculous. I hope nothing happens to you, Frank. I hope you don't have a fucking heart attack. That would be a fucking shame. I hope you don't have a stroke, Frank. That would be a fucking shame. So, Frank, where are you, buddy? You got all day. You're just sitting there at the kitchen table reading your magazine, Boy's Life. Why don't you come on and answer some of these questions? Eh? No, not gonna happen, huh? No fucking balls. Yeah, that's what I thought. They don't call you one nut for nothing, Frank. That's for goddamn sure. Uh, and still sitting here waiting for you, Frank. Come on. Well, no Frankie. That's a shame, you know? Oh, now you all know what a fucking coward he is. Oh, man, I tell you. Fucking. So let's go down the line, Frank. You're a draft dodger. You wouldn't serve your country. Eh? You fucking you say that it was because you weren't physically able to. So you weren't so you're telling me you weren't smart enough and you weren't physically able to fucking do it. Is that it, Frank? Then you're just telling me you're a fucking useless human fucking being. On top of being a fucking nasty human being. Eh? So you couldn't cut the mustard physically. You couldn't pass the physical. So you were physically inadequate. You were a fucking reject. All right. So what should I call you? Should I call you draft dodger or reject? I think I'll just call you the reject draft dodger. Okay. What do you think? Tard? Yeah, he is a bit of a fucking tard. Undefeated. You haven't won anything. You've won nothing. If you call putting a retarded hillbilly in jail and paying 5,000 pesos for it a win, you're as retarded as the retarded hillbilly. Eh? You truly are. You're a fucking mental midget, man. Anybody could pick on a retarded hillbilly that has no fucking money. Eh? Dude, your shame, you will have to wear your shame in the Philippine genre till the day you fucking die. Right? Dude, I tell you, when you're dead, fucking Gilda will cremate you for 50 pesos, put you in the coffee can, put you up on the mantle, and she'll look at her kids and she'll say, "See that, Tanak? That is the best investment I ever made. In that can was the guy who paid for my Baha'i. In that can was the guy that paid for my trike." Yeah, yeah. And dude, after you're fucking dead, she's gonna keep collecting your fucking social security. Right? Because when you die in Philippines, it doesn't get reported to the United States. So, dude, she is still gonna be milking that tit after you're fucking dead. Yeah, she's gonna be milking that tit after you're fucking dead. There, Frank. Hey, so Frank, how about you click on the link and come answer these questions? I would love to hear the answers to these questions. Okay? Quit obfuscating, Frank. Quit being a fucking coward. Okay? Stand up and be a man and answer the questions. Or is it benzodiazepine time? Is that it? It's benzodiazepine time? Are you having a panic attack, Frank? Is that it? Dude, I got 50 people listening. The only one arguing against me is you, Frank. 50 to 1. Are you going to tell me 50 people are wrong, Frank? Please, come on, Frank. So, what are you going to do now, Frank? You going to insult Luna? You going to insult Nico? You going to insult everybody in the live chat? Huh? I, I'm surprised you spelt that all correctly. You must be taking your fucking time, Frank. So tell me, man, Frank, when those people in Hawaii had enough of your shit and filed criminal charges against you to get their money, which they will sooner or later, because they know you're alive, Frank. They know you're in fucking Philippines, and they know you're in a lot of fucking trouble. What are you going to do then? Because, Frank, we all know you ran from Hawaii when that lawsuit got started. You ran like a little bitch. You ran like a fucking coward. Heminger was right. You're nothing but a little fucking coward. Okay? And why are you a coward, Frank? Because you ran from the lawsuit. You didn't even show up. You could have showed up on Zoom. Al DeWinter showed up. Keep watching that CCTV, Frank. Eh? Somebody might show up there, want to have a word with you. Eh? So, Frank, Why didn't you show up? Why didn't you show up for that lawsuit? You complain about Bama owing everybody money, but you can walk away. It's okay for you to walk away from a $60,000 debt, but Bama can't walk away from his debts. It's okay for you to cyber liable him and say he owes everybody in the fucking world, but Bama can't say anything? Does it really upset you that badly when Bama comes on and starts talking about you? Frankly, I don't even fucking pay attention to Bama when he comes on. You know why, Frank? Because Bama's in jail. He's where he belongs. And you know what? Everybody and their brother have dropped the mic on Bama and like, yeah, he's in jail. Let's let him go. But no, not you, Frank. You got to keep pushing. You want to take his money away. What else you want to do? You want to take his phone away. Right? Jesus Christ, Frank. Where is your fucking scruples? Where is your fucking brain at? Are you that much of a cunt that you would leave a fellow American in jail with no fucking money, no fucking phone? Are you that much of a little bitch? Do you realize the only thing you are doing is garnering sympathy for Bama? That's what you're doing. And you will wear that stain of shame on your soul right up until the time you die and meet God for judgment. That's right. Dude, how do I know you put him in jail? One minute you deny it when Bama says that you paid 5,000 pesos to get him put in jail. And then the next minute you're saying, well, I didn't really put Bama in jail. He put himself there. So which is it, man? I mean, you can't talk out both sides of your fucking mouth. Eh? And dude, Frank, we know you're only 5'2". We know Bama is taller than you. We know that for a fact. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're the only one around here with little man syndrome. You're the only one around here patting your own back on what a great guy you are. Eh? When in fact, you're just a vindictive, mean piece of shit pedophile draft dodger. That's all you are. That's all you are, man. It's bankruptcy's out the ass. I've seen all the paperwork. You owe 60K on a lawsuit. Dude, who the fuck wants to listen to you? Who the fuck wants to listen to you? Who the fuck believes a goddamn word that comes out of your fucking mouth? Eh? It's a guy that fucking reads Boy's Life, puts little boys on his fucking lap, sings about other men's penises. You're lucky you were in fucking Hawaii. That's one of the most liberal piece of shit states there is. if you did something like that here in Florida, your ass would have been going to fucking jail. You are a fucking joke to this fucking community. And it's about time everybody heard what a fucking joke you are. What a fucking idiot you are. Gotta be the stupidest fucking guinea I've ever fucking come across. Tell you, I mean, you fucking disgust me. You better pray. You better fucking pray. Or better yet, I will fucking warn you. Don't land on the East Coast when they fucking deport you. Don't do it. Don't do it, motherfucker. And if they do deport you, don't come back to the United States. You better run to fucking Vietnam or Thailand. You better stay the fuck over there. All right? Because I guarantee you, Frankie, you pedophile piece of shit, I will fucking come get you. And what can I do for you today? You got to unmute your mic. There you go. And you got to step up to your mic.
Oh, listen. The only reason this guy thinks he's so fucking rich is because he pays $200 or $300 fucking American dollars to a fucking lawyer as a detainer. Okay, he wouldn't do a half a quarter of the shit that he thinks he can do to people if he was here in the fucking States. He has threatened you from fucking afar. He, at 678 days, 20 hours, and 2 fucking minutes, Bama's been in jail, including the 678 days, plus a few extra years, like 5 or 6, 7 years. Bama's been fucking in fucking Stank's fucking head all them fucking years. Listen, the only thing this guy fucking has is fucking YouTube. All right, let's get to the fucking point. All right, Stank, you and me both know when I looked at you in the fucking face on that fucking ferry and told you if you got anything to fucking say, let's squash it like men. You sounded fucking retarded and you know it. Well, it's only YouTube, Nico. Then you catch Ricky on camera. Why is it you never met anybody off camera? You're always with your caretaker thinking that that's the only lifeline that anybody has. Other people have lifelines, bro. So stop pretending. See, the thing is, Stank, you haven't gotten the shit slapped out of you because you're not man enough to ever step up to the plate. Let's get that shit straight. The only person shitting on himself, and even Maria said, Nico, don't do anything because he's not worth it. So sit there and talk all you want. You waited 3 or 4 days later, which Popeye told me 24
Let me stop
hours.
you right there.
Yeah.
Frank needs his camera to protect
Yeah, 100%.
Exactly what I told you.
Yeah, and
Exactly
Popeye
what I
told
told
me
you.
24 hours later, after I met him, Popeye's like, watch, he's going to come back. Dude, you're not going to last a week. You know, Stank, there's a limit to I think you're a fucking joke, and you can say the same thing about me. You met fucking Bama, all this shit that you talked about. When I get Bama, you met him at a restaurant, didn't do a fucking thing. You saw
He bought
Ricky,
him a pack of cigarettes that he's
oh,
still
well, he
crying
probably
about
fucking
that he
gave
didn't
him a
get
hug and
paid
didn't
back.
show it on the video. You know what I mean? Then he saw Ricky, pulled out the camera, but he was going to kick Ricky's ass when he saw him. Then when he saw me, I went to him and sat in front of his face, but he doesn't tell you that. See, I don't want to continue this because this is what he wants. See, and then he'll say, Nico, your face. Listen, if your dick was really getting hard, you would actually be fucking right now. And then you blame Bama, saying, Bama this, Bama that. Everything that Bama has said to you, you have said to everybody else. But you're picking on Bama because you know he can't defend himself. Why haven't you pressed charges against any of us? I was there in the Philippines. You heard everything I said, and I still want you to fucking die. Dude, I have not backed up. People like you, male or female. And let me tell you, stop calling yourself a New Yorker because you live there. Because I've met New Yorkers with a quarter of a nut. Well, see, you only have one. And even a quarter of a real nut from fucking New York actually has more balls than you. Because then you wait till you talk to people, then you make shows, and you act like you're so fucking important because you talk shit about them after. You did it to Brevis, you did it to Ricky, you did it to everybody. When are you actually going to be a real fucking man and stop saying how you can, well, if anybody attacks me, I can guarantee you are doing nothing but shit yourself like you did on that ferry. All right? So let's clear that shit up. You can say I'm fat. When I lose weight, what are you going to say then? That I'm ugly? It's the same shit, Stank. But remember, Stank, people eventually are held accountable. Weren't you the same fucking person that was saying Bama and Shaw ain't going to do a fucking thing to me? And then now you're not bragging so much, are you, Mr. Sniff Sniff? Mr. Sniff, I'm
Dude,
so fucking healthy, and you're half
Nico.
dead in the fucking hole already.
Nico, he's not bragging because he's on hold departure.
Yeah, but he's not talking about that, you see?
It's pending.
Yeah.
It's pending.
Yeah.
He don't dare talk about her anymore.
No.
Oh, that shit ain't gonna fucking happen.
Yeah, it's the same woman that he talks shit about. That's not gonna stick. Blah, blah, blah. Look, dude, you're not immune to the shit. The only reason you get away from shit is because you have your lifeline, your caretaker. And what happens? What happens when somebody meets you there, Stank, with a caretaker of their own or a lifeline of their own? Dude, you don't have as much money as you think you do, and bragging about, I can do this. Yeah, what? A retainer for $300? Get a retainer, and why don't you come over here and get a retainer and attack half the people that talk about you in the state? There's not one channel there, Mr. Sniff Sniff, Mr. Twinkle Toes, that actually gets along with you. And I told you to your face, if you're going to say anything about me on the show, dude, just say it now. What did you say? No, that's not what I do, Nico. It's just Bama this, Bama that. And let me tell you something. That's all you have is Bama, Mr. Educator of the Philippines, Mr. I have been here, and all you talk about is another man. And we all know that. See, that you feel important because we're all out here having a good time on you. But, dude, there's nothing intimidating about you at all. You talk about him all the time. That is your channel. So what is he educating people about? What? I called him this.
He was educating people about the pimple in his ear that caused his lost hearing.
No, he probably got slapped by a real man and that it got a concussion. So he tells you he got what is it? What is it? What is that ear? That cauliflower ear, because I was in the Manhattan Park.
Can you explain something to me? As I was listening to his show, I was kind of nodding off, and he started talking about hernias. Okay. And he said, these are his words, he's had a total of 3 hernias. This is a guy that's never worked a day in his fucking life. He went from high school to 8 years of fucking college. Never had a fucking job. The government always fucking paying for him. How do you get 3 fucking hernias when you don't do any manual fucking labor, Nico? Please help me out with that.
Technically, sitting down at a chair and fucking with you from a computer, thinking he can get under people's skin is very tough. It's strenuous, dude. It takes a toll on your relationship. Oh, wait. What relationship does he have? Think about it. He spends most of his time on fucking YouTube while his caretaker's out and about having a great life. What kind of life is that? Bro, and that's the life you think people are jealous about, Stank? You sit
okay. I got the answer. S. Similacron says, picking up small children and putting them on your lap can cause hernias.
Well, the bigger the children, the bigger the hernia.
So he was picking up 25, 30 fucking pounds. That's what he likes, toddlers, right? So that caused a hernia.
Hey, listen, if you can think it and you can say it on YouTube, it must be true.
It's got to be fucking
It's
true.
gotta
I
be.
heard it. Yeah, I heard it on
Hey,
YouTube.
listen, it's
It's got
out
to be
there. We're
fucking
getting a
true.
lot of
You know?
we're getting a lot of response on it. That means it's gotta be. Listen, Stank, I'm gonna tell you something. If you were one person that you were actually out and about having a good time, many like you, not just you, because you're not that fucking important. You can say that about me as well. But at least in the time that I've been there, I have done more in 1 month that you'll ever do in the fucking 10 years that you're there. But
Dude, I've been. This guy has been. He brags he's been there for 8, 9 fucking years.
and the most I've
I-
ever seen was,
And the only thing I've seen is SNR,
yep, walking around the
Cebu,
neighborhood.
a fucking courtroom.
One trip to Baguio and complained about the fucking Baguio trip like
Oh,
it was
cried
fucking,
like a little fucking
just fucking
schoolgirl.
girl all over the place.
I
And
can't get no cigarettes.
the temperature. The fuck out of here. And when have you ever gone anywhere without your fucking caretaker? Dude, most of us go everywhere with, it's different when you have a partner. Well, technically, she's not your partner. Legally, she's someone else's partner. She's your caretaker. Remember, tough guy? What you said in the courtroom? You know, such a tough guy from fucking New York. New York, right? Yeah. Get the fuck out of here. Dude, a sausage, an Italian sausage, it's got more fucking Italian in it than you, okay? And you go into court and say, what? Oh, my caretaker. Hey, where are the balls there? Well, see, you got to have balls in order to present balls. Where was the balls when the judge asked you and you could have said, you know, Your Honor, my woman here, she's married, but they're no longer together, and I've been with her for 8 or 9 years. I mean, I could have afforded the annulment, Your Honor, but I wanted to buy her a house, and I wanted to buy her a little carriage, and I wanted to buy her a bunch of stuff.
That's where I need to
Fuck
stop
that.
you right there. If he has professed his profound love for this woman,
Uh-huh.
why hasn't he, instead of taking a retarded hillbilly
Mhm.
to court, taking that money and getting her annulment? I'm sure Jimmy would agree to it and it would all go through. And then him and her could get married.
Well,
Am I
can
right or
give you-
wrong in that?
I can give you the answer to that.
I mean, this piece of shit has professed his profound love for
Mhm.
this woman. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And
hey,
you know what?
when
That
are you
would
go- don't you think actions speak louder than words?
I agree. And you know what? I agree with you. You know what? If this is what he wants and he loves her, you show more respect for her by saying, "Hey, hun, I think it's time that you talk, to your husband and let's get this stuff done." But no, it's because they don't want it. He doesn't have any say in it.
Do you know? Let me tell you a little story, Nico. This is what Filipino men do
Mm.
to their women. And I'm going to
Mhm.
tell you what they do.
Mm-hmm.
When these Filipino men reach a certain age, they can't get a job because of age discrimination.
Bingo. Keep going.
So when they're in their 40s or 50s, they're essentially retired.
Yep. Hey, Stank, listen, you're getting educated because it's going to get good. Listen very close. You might fucking learn something unless you're lying and you don't really know it. But continue,
So
brother.
Jimmy has been retired for a long time.
Yep.
And he sends his wife out and says, go get a canoe and
Yep.
bring home the money.
Yep.
Well, Gilda, she went out and got Frank. And so far, she's got a house. She's got money coming in. And she kicks back money to Jimmy every time she goes to Cebu. Right? And this is what they do. They're not going to give.
Yep.
He's not going to give Gilda a divorce because
No.
Gilda works for Jimmy, Frank. This is the oldest scam in the fucking book. And you could say, "Oh, Popeye, you're full of shit. You
You're
don't know what
jealous.
you're fucking
Yeah,
talking
you're
about."
jealous. You're da da da. Get the fuck.
Da 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 da,
Yeah.
Popeye. You're a fucking liar, Popeye. That's
Yep.
horse shit. Not my Gilda. Dude, that's how it works. That's exactly how it
And you
fucking
know what's
works.
sad? Most of these guys argue and fight about it. Listen, hey Stank, let me tell you something. Their number one goal, listen, Philly, I'm there for 6 or 7 months every few years. And the Filipinas tell us, they talk to us, man. We're not stupid. And they tell us, oh, my husband doesn't care. You know what their mission is? To make sure their children, not them, they had their chance at bat. The mission is to make sure their children have land, have something prosperous. Now, I have more respect for a man to say, you know what, it's an arrangement, blah, blah, blah. Because let me tell you something. There is nothing jealous about being truthful. You see, you're not a New Yorker there, buddy. You're not a New Yorker, all right? Because a truthful man would have said, you know, my caretaker doesn't want a divorce. Because let me tell you, 8, 9, 10 years, and you're still in the same fucking hole you're in. And that is what you call success. That is what you call accomplishing, or you're winning. No, winning is saying, hey, hon, I think it's time for you to get a divorce. Let's invest the money. I'm going to leave Bama alone. I just want to get this shit together, and I want us to be together. You know, even if at the end you stay with everything, and that's fine. But you know what? I love you, hon. I love you. No.
None of that's gonna fucking happen.
Yeah. You don't talk about that, Stank, do you?
Gilda
No.
is working for Frank.
No.
Taking the money from Frank, giving it to fucking Jimmy. Okay.
Look at that.
You're actually paying for all 8 kids. You may
at that
only
picture.
have 2 in the house.
Look at Del Fuego.
But
Frank,
you're
so
paying for all 8 kids. Okay?
And you know what? We would have more respect if he just says it. Not that we give a shit, but you talk about respect and people should say the truth. You can't handle the truth. Look at Frank said, Frank was so outraged by the thought of someone overstaying, possibly he should pay immigration to take him into custody. Let me tell you something. This is the same guy, like I said before, Del Fuego. This is the same guy that said nothing will happen to him. Nothing. I can do this. I can do that. Now it happened, and he's not bragging so fucking much. Now he's like, oh, I just got to let it run through the system.
The only time Frank brags is when he thinks he's got to win. And I have to say thinks he's got to win because he thinks he's got to win because he paid 5,000 pesos to have the fucking retarded hillbilly followed and get caught by the BI. That's not a win. I could send Corky Romano out there to do that. Okay? Corky Romano could achieve that fucking goal. All right? We give you credit for nada. See, and I tell you again, Frank, when he got put in detention, if you'd have just dropped the mic and walked away, you wouldn't have the problems you have today.
He should have just let it go.
2% fucking fees added on to your regular fees that you're
More
all
money
going
in
to have
his
to pay up
Yep.
when everything is said and done.
Yep.
And dude, if you don't pay when they kick you out of the country or stay in the country, you're going to detention center. Okay?
Dude, can you imagine that? Spending all this time acting like you're doing something when you should just be living. He should have just left it at that when he went to jail and left it at that. What do you think you're accomplishing, Stank? And let me tell you, Stank, after the show, I'll see you in 90 days. I'll raise your fucking hair feathers again in 90 days because nothing you can say to me is going to affect me in any way. But the thing is, you don't talk. Every single one of your fucking shows is about Bama. It's not. What are you fucking educating us on somebody that put himself in jail? You're keeping him there, but he put himself there, man. You're living such a good life. What life, bro? You spend 99% of it on fucking YouTube. You take one day off because you have to let her fucking breathe because that woman can't fucking stand anything. Bro, a woman that sits there and watches you do this shit every day, dude, we don't see no hugs. We don't see no affection. We see you every few minutes saying, hold on 1 second, hold on, I gotta go. Well, hey guys, I gotta go. Bro, a woman that really loves somebody, and I'm not questioning it because I'm not there. I don't give a fuck. But I can tell you from what I know, a woman that loves somebody would not deal with that shit. A woman that has an arrangement with somebody will take it all. Remember that. Because women that I get along with, they're not even my fucking girlfriends. Right? I go out, they're like, yo, let's hang out. Bro, you don't even fucking see me on YouTube. I'll upload and I'm out. 1 hour, maybe every couple of days, because I'm fucking having fun. And you're telling me that is the relationship everybody's fucking jealous about? Get the fuck out of here, dude. The fuck out of here, dude. Oh my
Dude,
God.
I mean, if you love this woman so badly, why are you up at 5 a.m. in the morning posting shit?
Dude, at
Instead
midnight.
of, and let me finish,
Yeah.
instead of lying next to her, holding her close, enjoying her charms. What's your fucking problem, man? You're the one who said how professed this great love for her. I mean, dude, if I loved a woman as much as you do, dude, she'd be in my arms in the morning. I'd be getting up 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning instead of 5 a.m. to fucking post on fucking YouTube and rant and rave about a retarded fucking hillbilly.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you. You said it many, many times, dude. If this guy really had anything, he would have let it go.
And
And
dude, what's so funny? When I got the call today, was it today or yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Somebody called me and said, "Hey, Popeye, fucking Bama wants you on his show."
Mm.
And I went over there and looked, and there was like 18 people listening to him. And I'm like, dude, I'm not going on that fucking show.
No.
No.
Well, I was at a doctor's appointment. Was it the last show he did?
This was yesterday.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think I know.
And I said, dude, I'm not going on that fucking show. Well, what's the sense in that? He's not going to listen to me. Right? It's just like telling Frank everything I've told him here tonight, all his wrong, his sins, his mistakes. He can't see them.
No.
Right?
No,
He won't see them. He is just like his twin brother, fucking Bama. Right? Now, hey, would you mind narrating for a few minutes, because my little buddy here is vibrating. He wants to relieve
I love when you say that. It's fine. Go ahead. No,
All
go
right.
ahead. Gotcha.
Thank you, buddy.
See, guys, let me tell you something. Pollo Loco, this is exactly what he does. He was invited on the show. Listen, he's going to talk about me, and that's fine. Listen, I have, like he says to everybody, I have more respect for a guy that actually will make somebody his wife and get an annulment than to sit there and talk about, dude, everything he's ever said about Bama, and I hope he's listening, and it doesn't, to me, I don't care, but it's, let him talk about that on his show. He doesn't say that shit. He talks about Bama every fucking show. What is he educating about? Nothing. Okay. He talks about this. He talks about that. He can talk about me till he fucking dies. And to me, I don't hide behind it. It is the nastiest thing for anybody to wish anything negative on anybody. And I'll be the first one to say it. But people like that have no reason to be breathing in fucking the air that anybody does. I'm not good, but guys, I know when to leave things fucking alone. You know what I mean? And any guy that talks about what other people have and don't have, and it doesn't have much. He doesn't own anything. His caretaker owns it, man. He doesn't own a fucking thing. Oh, I pay the taxes. You don't own a fucking thing. Nothing's under your name, bro. Taxes might be under your name. The property's not, man. You know what I mean? And to me, say what you guys want. None of you guys are ever going to say anything, you know, in short, it doesn't matter what you think. Because I can say whatever the fuck I want. Not what you say when anybody says. Everybody's not fucking blind, bro. Everybody's not blind. All right? None of you guys were there. You were not there, so you can watch whatever you want and whatever. Trust me. Trust me. It's 100% enjoyment. He loves this shit, man. A guy that has such a good fucking life wouldn't be fucking on a show every fucking day. Look at him. Didn't come on the show. I would have backed off and let him and Popeye talk. Because to me, all this stuff is fucking insignificant. It's not a big deal. It really isn't. After the show, you won't hear me say a goddamn thing about the guy. He'll talk about me till the fucking day he dies. Every 90 days, I'll come on and fuck around with him and piss him off. Because to me, it really is funny. It's a joke. But nothing these guys are going to say or fucking change anything. But don't try to brag about how great you are when you're no better than the person you're talking about. All right? Oh, he said this about me. You said many things about everybody. The only reason you're picking on him is because he can't afford it. Because everybody you said you would attack, you haven't. Why aren't you attacking Brevis? Why aren't you attacking anybody that's there? Because you know they can protect themselves. But you get the guy that's in jail, and that's the guy you feel accomplished about. Get the fuck out of here. Why aren't you bragging about, the way you were bragging before she threw charges at you? The thing is, keep talking, Stank. Popeye's right. Keep talking. Because a lot of what you say is going to be used against you. Remember, the same thing you do to him, he's going to do to you. You know what I mean? It's not going to fucking change. It's not going to change. And if this is what you think people are jealous about, bro, grow the fuck up. I told you, Italian sausage got more of an Italian name in it than you'll ever be as an Italian. There's nothing you fucking say that's true. Nothing. You invent as you go. Like right now, no balls to come on the show, but you'll go on your show, which again, you can. And then you'll invent and say, Nico, Nico, Nico. Bro, it's okay. It's I'm not the one watching CCTV all my life, twinkling my toes on a fucking house. That's not me. I'm out and about every fucking day. When I'm there, you never see me home. Unless I'm resting for 2 or 3 days, and then you see me out and about. Nico, you're saying words and more words in my mind. Peeking in windows. I've done many videos showing Stank's hypocrisy. He knows. You know what it is, Don C? The thing is that he likes it. He feels important when people talk about him. Listen, you could talk negative about me or positive. I care either way. I respect people that just speak their mind. That's all, regardless if it's negative and positive. He likes people. He feels important when people talk about him. You know what I mean? Talks. I'm not articulate like that. I'm not lying to you. I wish I can. Popeye. If Popeye was on right now, he would tell you. So what you're trying to say? Because I don't follow this stuff as much, Mr. Tuck. I really, really don't. That time I saw him on the ferry, I'm telling you guys, it happened. You don't have to believe me. I'm not like him. I don't involve my Filipina. If she comes on and Popeye asks a question or two, I know what happened on that ferry. And you know what? It was the best meeting was meeting the caretaker. That's all. She was cool. She was cool. But I knew it was going to turn into a fucking shit show. And you know what? Nothing that comes out of this guy is anything good. The meetings that people have with him all turn out to a shit show. It's the same people. It's the same thing. He invited Brevis to his house, talk shit about him. Ricky, he invited me. I didn't bother to go. She invited me. She was like, hey, thank you. I'll think about it. I knew it was going to be a shit show. I didn't think it was going to be in that short a time, but it was going to be a shit show. Everybody he's ever fucking invited to that house has been a fucking shit show. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. You know what I mean? But there's nothing about him any fucking better than anybody else. Nothing. Except for the fact that we actually say shit. We don't throw things at the wall and see if they stick. He'll talk about Popeye on his show and he'll talk about me. But Popeye gave him 3 or 4 chances. I got you. He gave him 3 or 4 chances to come on here to talk to him. Popeye would have let him talk. Yeah, but he doesn't. He'll come in here and yell and try to shut Popeye up by yelling. And then Popeye will have no choice but to boot him off. And Popeye will say, and he'll say in his show that Popeye kicked him off. That's what he'll do. There's nothing he talks about except for me.
Lion Circus is correct. This guy knows about their relationship because on top of being a pedophile, a fucking dog murderer, a draft dodger, he's also a fucking peeping Tom. Okay? That's why he knows everything about that those people's relationship.
No, and most of them give it away. You know what? He gets mad at you, Popeye. Oh, Popeye, I need to tell you a word, and I'm your friend, but I have to tell you, we are gonna get into an intervention, but we'll talk about that another time. I gotta tell you, Mr. Tux, if you're not talking about him, it is not important. And you know these followers that he thinks he's got. There's like 3 to 5 people that come in and egg him on, and he supposedly got all these thousands, all the ones that were bought. If he's such a, go look at right now. Somebody go look over there right now that he's doing a show. See how many people are watching right now. You got 30, 40 people here. Go over there to that show and see how many people are watching. Flying Circus, take a quick look. Boyo, take a look. That's this following. The people that egg him on. He's like, yeah, my loyal followers. Well, you keep believing that story, all the stories you keep telling yourself. Dude, it just cracks me the fuck up. And you know what, Popeye? He doesn't like you. I'll tell you why. Because exactly what you said. He says, you don't have a life. What life does he have but fucking on YouTube? You mirror it, you leave, you come back. And he doesn't like the fact that you're catching him in all his bullshit. And when people send you an email and say, hey, Popeye, can you send me that link? Can you send me this and that, this and that, this and that? Yeah, I got you. They're just building a case more and more on him. That's why I said, let him fucking talk. Look at, after 8 or 9 years, he has 5 or 6 followers. Look at that on the channel. Popeye, you're fucking killing it at 40, brah. 40 fucking strong. Hey, Stank, that is what fucking entertainment's about, bitch. Right here. Come over here. You know what? Shut your fucking show off and come over here to a real fucking show.
And, he also likes to complain. Well, last time Popeye did a simulcast, he didn't talk much. He just went silent, went off. I mean, dude, how many times can you come up and say Frank is a liar?
Mm-hmm.
How many times can you come up and explain Frank is a draft dodger, Frank is a pedophile, Frank is a fucking peeping Tom, Frank has 3, 4 fucking goddamn bankruptcies, Frank doesn't have a license, can't drive, Frank walks like a fucking crab, Frank murdered Pepita. I mean, how many times can you fucking repeat that shit? Frank is picking on a fucking retarded hillbilly who can't shut his fucking mouth. And Frank is proving to the goddamn community that he's just as bad as Bama.
Look at him now.
How many fucking times, please?
Guys, now remember, this exciting life that Stank fucking lives, go look at what he's doing right now. We are taking our time right now, but you don't see us. I don't even fucking, I just upload videos and have fun. Maybe fuck around a little bit. But what's he doing? One of 30 fucking shows he'll do tonight. Midnight.
And you know what's so terrible about all this? Bama didn't do this case against him.
No.
You know who did it? Shaw.
Mm-hmm.
And who gave Shaw the money? Fucking Ricky, Drew, and a few others. Right? And yet, he's persecuting Bama for it. Give me a fucking break, Frank. Because you don't dare go after Ricky. You don't dare go after Drew.
No. He won't talk about that. He won't talk about that at all. And he won't go after you. All this, I got the long arm of the law, Popeye.
Where is your fucking legal sword here? I'm waiting for your legal sword to arrive in the United States. This legal sword that you talk about. Where is it, Frank? Where is it? And dude, if you really want to piss Frank off, all you got to do is say two fucking words. Two words. Dave Phelps.
Oh, bro. How, how come he's not talking about how great the great Dave Phelps is doing? No. Why would he ever talk great about somebody that's doing better than him? The fuck out of here, man.
And dude, let's add another thing to the long list of what he is. A grave trampler. He trampled on Fazio's grave. He trampled on fucking Ed's grave.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who has died in the community as of late, he has trampled on their graves. He has had nothing fucking nice to say about
No,
them.
but we're all supposed to be nice to him, though, right?
And you know what another thing is? Fucking, I guess Mick Fisher must have scared the shit out of him. Because like
Nothing scares him.
he met Mick Fisher, but yet he hasn't come out and said anything bad about Mick Fisher yet. So because I think he knows Mick Fisher would take a trip over there, rip his head off, shit down his throat, put his head back on so he could fucking taste it. I think that's why. I mean, he talks a big game in the mic. He calls everybody a troll.
Everybody.
He calls, oh, you're all trolls.
Yeah,
right?
you're all pieces of shit. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and the guy has got like right now 20 something, 18 something hate listeners. And he's got 3 flying monkeys that just agree with everything he says.
Yeah. Hey, do you know what they're saying now? Do you listen? He didn't have to go far. He needs a platform to feel great because he feels that we're just gonna disrespect him. You know what's funny? I would have stayed quiet and listened to what he says and would have been fair across the board. We both would have. But he doesn't want that. He wants to have a platform where he can say what he wants and try to see if it sticks to the wall and feel like, hey, this is what I'm going to say and why not, right? No. I got to tell you, man, a lot of people feel sorry for him, Popeye. I haven't heard you say it, and if you did, that's fine. But
I have said it. I do feel sorry for him, and I'll tell you why.
Go ahead.
Because he's nothing but a prescription drug addled, dyslexic, piece of shit.
Yeah,
that's what he is.
I noticed that when he's overly drugged up on something, because you can hear it. And hey, I've never heard you have any issues talking or really carrying a good adult, respectful, and very articulate conversation. Besides that, I noticed that he really gets going to town when he's licking his lips and sniffing. I don't know what he's sniffing. I mean, I heard this stuff.
Well, dude, these guys that take benzodiazepine, Xanax, they like to crush it up and sniff it like cocaine, so it gets right into the bloodstream immediately.
I was going to ask you that. Is it because the way he sniffs, could it be that maybe he doesn't have the same effect drinking it? It's easier to sniff it?
And when you take Lexapro, benzodiazepine, Benadryl, these are all stimulants.
Yeah.
They make your nose run.
Yeah.
Right? They dilate your pupils. Dude,
well, can I ask the chat a question? Hey guys, press number 1 if you guys have heard him sniffing a lot, maybe possibly he's crushing the stuff down and it helps him better because it hits his system. Or number 2, no, Nico, no, that's it's probably because he has a head cold. Let me know. I think it's number 1. I think it's 1 because it helps him out. But what do I know? Let me know if it changes, Popeye.
Let's see. Aloe de Winter says the real deal is one of the big donors bankrolling this case. Bravo. Bravo. My hat's off to Real Deal. At least he's
Yo,
doing
hats
something.
off the Real Deal right there, baby. You hats
Oh,
off
I
right
have
there.
to give Real Deal props, man.
Yep, I'm going. Yeah, listen. If he's out in the Cebu when I'm out there, we're going to have a beer and tell him thank you. Mhm. Mhm. Let me tell you something. For somebody that's medically better than everybody, and he just can consult everybody and tell everybody, hey, this is what's best for you while you're in the Philippines. You seem to do a lot of sniffing. You seem to be doing a lot of. You've been sick a long time, brother, but you seem to only sniff on those times that you're really on some good Xanax, dude, or all the other good stuff. Snorting pills is really bad. You know what? And 100% on this channel, me, Popeye, and everybody, all these fine gentlemen in the chat, we do not condone any which shape or form abuse of any substance. We do not condone anything to do with anything that may hurt you in any possible way. But if you choose to do the sniffing technique, just remember that we will all notice it, though, just to let you know.
But I do have to admit, Nico,
Yeah.
my only drug of choice is caffeine. A good Bustelo Cafe. Okay?
Me?
And
I
that's
gotta
it.
tell you,
That's it, bro.
mine,
it.
I gotta tell you, mine is a good stiff fucking drink and some pussy. That's it, man. Good stiff
Oh,
drink and
dude.
some pussy.
You know what? I will tell you what, Chicken Choker. When Frank gets deported, when they finally make a decision, and if he should actually run off to Vietnam. Because, dude, from what I've been told, now this is what I've been told, you could get any prescription drug you want without a prescription in their pharmacies. You can go get his Cialis, he can get his Xanax. All you gotta do is walk up to the goddamn fucking little Vietnamese lady pharmacist and say, this is what I need. And dude, he could go hide in a nice cool room,
Mm-hmm.
light off, and tell everybody how he's gonna do topical matter and sniff a few Xanaxes and go,
Yeah.
oh, I'm chillaxing. Remember that one? Where
Yeah,
we took a couple of Xanaxes and he said to everybody how he's chillaxing.
yeah, very relaxing. And hey, boy, how does he say? Hey, boy, I gotta tell you, I say, boy, if you were really taking that Viagra Cialis, you definitely wouldn't be on fucking YouTube. You know what's funny? We're having a good time there, Stank. All right, you're gonna open up a show like you did and talk shit, right? But you know what's funny? All that you do, people read right through it, man. Oh no, Mr. Bill, he's been streaming for a while. We got under his skin like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah. Dude, how's he getting under my skin? He's the one who lit off a fucking show.
Yo, for real.
After I
We've been
started
live.
talking, man.
Yeah, we've been
Please.
watching this shit for a while. He was on this show, Mr. Bill, and Popeye invited him on here 2 or 3 times.
I was going to give him the mic to say what he
Yeah.
wanted to say. No, he won't come up, man. No balls, man. I guess that's why they call him One Nut Frank.
One nut. It takes a lot of courage, and that one nut really doesn't give him that umph that he needs. Oh man, he accidentally took the Viagra as a suppository, and it made him rigid. Guys, let me tell you something. I can't speak for everybody, and this is the godforsaken truth. If anybody really thinks that any of this shit really gets to me, it's the fucking funniest thing when you can do a show. I even came in after. I was going to upload, and I saw this shit. When Popeye can just mirror a fucking channel, and he comes in and he can't wait to say Popeye in this fucking simulcast and fuck Popeye and
fuck Popeye in
He
his
hurt my
little
fucking
skits.
in his skits and fucking hurt my feelings. And I can't believe that he had the nerve to copy. Get the fuck
Dude,
out.
you know what's so funny about my little skits? They're all his words.
Mhm.
They're clips from his shows. Everything he has said and done.
Yeah. And that's why he hates you. Because he can't come back. He can until you do it. He can't come back and say, I never fucking said that. What the fuck? Mr. Tux is a fucking liar. Del Fuego? Who the fuck is Del Fuego? Popeye and fucking I'm going to say Akron. Oh, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Nico fucking lie. Really? Because let me tell you, every time Popeye does a short, it's about the shit that you say. So you are angry at the
And
fact
he
that he tends to
calls
remind you.
he calls my little skits hateful.
Oh,
How can I be hateful when
well,
he's in the skit saying hateful things?
no. You see, that's called reflection. No, you see, deflection. He calls it hateful because he's realizing, he doesn't realize that the person actually talking in your fucking shorts is him.
Did he take that much Xanax and benzodiazepine?
He's deflecting it.
He can't recognize his own voice.
No, not when he's on good drugs, man. Man, because if he actually paid attention to your shorts, he would know. Oh my God, that's me. No. Why would he say that? No, it's all hateful because it reminds him of all the hate that he got growing up. See, that's the thing right there, you know? You're all damn liars. I'm sick of this. You've been reported to Finland. Yeah, that's right. I did it.
Dude, and guys, I got to ask you all. I've been sitting here waiting for Interpol to come get me, man. When's that gonna happen now?
Bro, when you hear the knock on the door, don't open the door, bye-bye. Because it could be that long arm that you've been waiting for.
The long arm of Interpol coming to
4
get
years.
International criminal Popeye, who said bad things about the great Bentayan draft dodger, fucking pedophile of the Bentayan Island. Yeah,
I call him Twinkle Toes and Stank. That's my name. Okay, he's coming back here now. Dude, Mr. Bill, he was very much missed. Yeah, he was very much missed. Hey, Stank, are you listening? Are you listening? Because I gotta tell you, you were very much missed, you know. Actually, you should go open up another show and let us know how very upset you are.
Oh, Popeye's picking on me.
Yeah, who the fuck is this guy, Nico, on Popeye's show? Oh, Jesus. Hey, Stank, I'm going to give you the heads up. I'll be back in the Philippines this time for a longer period of time. I'll be going to SNR. I'll be going to all these beautiful places. You might actually bump into me. Let's just say, hypothetically, you put the phone down and be a real man and say, we need to go outside. Just hypothetically, Stank, let me know. Okay, you'll know where I'm at because I'm always doing videos.
Dude, what the fuck did I tell you?
He's not going to do a fucking
What the fuck did I tell you? I told you, leave that fucking old man alone. You hit him one time, you're going to get charged with fucking murder. Okay?
Oh, my God. Dude, that got me. Now, guys, listen, let me tell you something. I'm actually having fun. There would be no way he would ever touch me because that's the only way I would ever even bump into the guy and give him a fucking concussion. There's no way. This is me having fun. If I ever open hand slap this guy, I can guarantee you that his brother will come from the grave and say, Jesus, I've been waiting for this for so long. Thank you so much. I can guarantee you. And he knows it. But, all jokes aside, he's not well, actually, no, that's a fucking lie. he is worth every fucking slap he gets, but he might as well get it from a woman because he actually might wake up from a good slap from a woman. But from a real man, hell motherfucking no. He knows it. He knows it, man. That's why he's never done a show after he has met somebody and has
Check it out.
confronted them.
He check it out. See that?
Yeah.
He's in the live chat listening.
Of course he is.
He's in the live chat listening, man.
Of course he is.
I fucking goddamn Frank. Look,
Hey.
man.
Stank, come on. Just come on. Let's talk about it.
There you go, Frank. There it is. Come on. I dare you, Frank. Come on up here,
Now,
buddy.
If you want to be fair, Stank, listen, he's going to boot you off. And guys, I'm going to tell you right now, Popeye's going to boot him off because we don't need anybody here screaming. He doesn't have fucking any more rights than anybody else. Come on here, Stank, and let's talk about what happened on the ferry. And if you want me, I can invite Maria. I definitely can invite Maria because, you know, you have your caretaker. You have your muscle. I have mine. And we can ask her exactly what happened because, you know, Filipinas don't lie because yours doesn't lie, right? So we can have that conversation, bro.
Oh, dude, I didn't even want to have that conversation with him. Here's the
No,
conversation
I wouldn't even invite her. I'm not like that.
Here's the conversation I want to have with him. I want to know why he's picking on a retarded hillbilly instead when he should be getting an annulment and marrying Gilda. That's where his money should be going because he professed his love to her. Right?
I mean,
And
that would be the
if
most
she
honorable
loves
thing to
you
do.
so much,
Mhm.
has she been asking you to pay for her annulment so you two can, you know, wed in holy matrimony and be as one?
Well, I can answer
These are the burning questions I want to know.
I can answer that shit in two parts. He's going to respond by saying, you know, that's what she wanted. But, you know, I think the best thing to do is not interfere in everything that has happened. Whatever he may say, he's going to say,
Here's
yeah.
another burning question I want to know. Frank, do you lay awake late at night wondering if you traumatize that little boy that you put on your lap and sang that song to and molested? Do you lie awake at night knowing that you ruined that little boy's life?
Me,
Inquiring minds want to know.
I can tell you what he thinks at night when he lays to bed and wakes up in the morning. I can 100% tell you. I'd love to tell you to answer your question, Popeye, but I think
No,
he thinks about
this
Bama.
is all rhetorical.
Oh, I know. He thinks about Bama. That's what he thinks about at night. He wakes up with Bama, goes to sleep with Bama, lives with Bama. He might as well just fucking say, "Babe, I'm leaving. Go back. Here's the keys. I'm just gonna go shack up with Bama."
S Simulacron says he lays awake clutching a moist pitcher of Barry.
Barry's chest.
I mean,
you know what I'm gonna give?
If you call that an accomplishment, my God.
That's a really big accomplishment to somebody who really doesn't have anything. Hey guys,
Frank's legal pad must be extensive.
extensive.
all the scribbles and drool have a purpose.
Guys, I'm gonna throw a challenge out there for you. You guys really want to have some fun? Actually, I'll wait to say this on another show because I think Popeye would be like, that is fucking awesome. I'm not going to ruin it. I'm going to save this one. We'll save this one for another time. Wait till I talk to Popeye after the show. It's going to be, Popeye, you don't understand how good this fucking is, what just popped in my head. Actually, I'll be right back. I'm going to text it to you. Hold on.
What liquids that are on Barry's pitcher are questionable? You know, that brings up a great point, man. He was talking a lot about jerking off tonight. He seemed to know an awful lot about it. Now, that picture of Barry that you have on the mantle Have you been pumping your puppy to that motherfucker? There's another burning question, Frank. I pick red. Is that is that a choice?
Hey, don't say anything, but Popeye, look at your text. Dude, that's fucking epic, bro. I'll wait till you see what I'm going to do. Guys, listen to Popeye's reaction. Let's see if he has any kind of reaction. This is so fucking good. Dude, it just popped in my head. It's really good, guys. It is fucking epic. And you know what? Remember, we all can shut this off and go and enjoy. I come in, like I said, once in a while, that's fine. But when you got to do it every day, it says a lot about the person. I ain't got to really say much about it. You all guys know, and you know what? He attacks me. He'll attack Papa. He'll attack everybody, every one of you guys or anybody. And he loves it when you say, "Oh, stank." That's what he likes. He'll come out and say, "If I wasn't that important, why?" Not everything has to bother anybody, Stank. We can have just as much fun on a short time basis. Your shit's not short time. Your shit's like permanent. So I gotta tell you, man. At least if you're gonna say stuff about me, make sure it's actually true. But you won't. You'll add on to everything, and enjoy and have fun with it. But you were invited on. I would have rather you just not had mentioned me at all. But you know what? It's fun for you, right? We can have fun with this. And I gotta tell you, it's fun. Let me check something. Okay, I got a message. Okay, it's not from Popeye though. It's from my daughter.
I can imagine a lot of things,
Would you have thought of that?
but nothing that disturbing.
Dude, it popped in my head, and I was like, "There's no way Popeye would not think this is fucking retarded in a good way." Popeye, that's fucking epic right there, man. I hope it gives you more ideas to work with there, buddy.
Oh, let's see. Let's see something.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, check it out. See how it's highlighted?
Yeah.
See how that shows he's listening. Okay.
I know. Serious question. Will the detention center let Stank bring his puppets with him? You know what? He would probably, it's not hard. He would probably find a way to make puppets from Bama socks or something. I don't know. He'd probably do something. As I've said before, he sees what he wants. He hears the people, and it's true, Don C. He hears, sees, and talks and everything across the board what he wants. And he thinks that people don't listen. Real people are listening, not the ones that egg him on. And he can't stand the fact that actually everyone that has actually said something that was actually honest and real on his show has been blocked. Think about it. That speaks volume.
Dude, and I didn't block him here from saying what he wanted to say. I didn't yell and scream at him for what he says in the live chat. That is the difference between my channel and his.
Yeah.
My channel, these guys come in, they say what they want to say. Some of them agree with me, some of them disagree with me, some of them poke fun at me and ask me how many dates did I get at bingo last Friday night. And
dude, that lady,
it's all well and good, man.
Bro, that lady that you sent me the picture from fucking bingo, are you sure? Are you sure she ain't got a cousin? Dude, she's a fucking hottie, bro. She's what, 47?
Yeah, she's 47.
Bro, guys, I'm not. This is, guys, you know me. I don't fuck around with this shit. He sent me a picture. He's like, "Hey, what do you think about this chick?" And I was like, "Well, not like that. That's the way I speak." He goes, "Hey, what do you think about this?" I was like, "Oh shit!" I thought he was hooking me up. I was like, "Yo, she looks fucking nice." He goes, "Honestly, dude, I won a pretty big pot on bingo, and she actually was right next to me, and we were actually talking." The first thing I said, I didn't hate on the man. I said, "Yo, tell me the lady that was with her." He goes, "No, she was actually by herself that night because her friend didn't make it." I said, "Yo, hook up her friend. Let's go on a double date, man. That if she looked anything like the one you're showing me, But my luck, he probably gave me the leftovers. He gave me
Dude, see, and
over.
when he makes fun of me for going to bingo, what he doesn't understand is I'm doing something he doesn't know how to do.
Mm-hmm.
I go out, I interact with other people,
Mm-hmm.
I have a great fucking time. I'm not sitting at my kitchen table at
Waiting for
5
someone to
a.m.
hold my hand.
slurping some garbage tea and chewing fucking horse food for breakfast with blueberries. All right. I'm not doing that and fucking yelling into a microphone on what a great guy I am. I'm
Yeah.
not doing any
Yeah,
of
yeah,
that.
yeah. Hmm?
I'm not putting my life out there on the internet like he is. And dude, if you put your life, I guarantee you, everybody in my live chat,
No, tell him what you
listen
told me.
closely. If you put your life out there on
There you go.
fucking YouTube, somebody is gonna comment on it,
Yep.
and you better put your big boy pants on
Yep.
and be prepared to answer.
Hey guys, listen. The reason I just yelled, not I didn't yell, I just said it out loud because I don't know if you can hear me because I don't know how the microphone's acting. I was talking to Popeye a couple of days ago, and I told him, "Hey, I've been having a really good time with my granddaughter, bro. There's just so many memories. Well, the blase stuff, guys. You know what I'm talking about." And he says, "Please fucking tell me you're not gonna put this shit on fucking YouTube, man." I said, "Why, dude? Why not?" I said like that. Why not, man? It's not frustrating, guys. I said, "Why not?" He says, "Bro, make sure you fucking put your big boy pants on because if no matter what, you give them barely nothing to talk about, they're gonna talk about you.
That's right.
Just don't show your granddaughter on her face. You can show some things, but bro, don't do that because keep your shit private." And he doesn't. He said, "Hey, you do what you want, but they're going to attack this every." And I told him, "Why should
See,
I stop?"
I
Yeah,
just warned Nico.
yeah, he did.
I just warned him, okay?
Mhm.
And you know what? When I go to the Hard Rock and I play bingo there, dude, you wouldn't believe the women that are in their 30s, 20s, 40s playing bingo there, all alone, all alone. And dude, they sit next to you, they talk to you, they're nice to you. Fucking, if you miss a number, and dude, if you win at the Hard Rock, it's not like winning $50 at the local church bingo. Okay, dude, I'm talking a single bingo. I could haul in 500 fucking dollars. Okay, 500 fucking dollars on a single bingo. On a cover up, on a full cover up, if I get a full cover up, I can make close to $3,000 to $4,000.
Yep.
Right? And
So
dude, I'm sitting there you know, having my food brought to me.
mhm. Free
Girl brings
drinks.
me a nice cold iced tea.
Yeah, free
Right?
drinks. Yep.
Oh no, they don't do free drinks anymore. They
Oh no.
don't do
Okay. Okay.
free
I
drinks.
thought they still did. I know they do it over in Massachusetts still. Over
Yeah,
at Foxwoods. Yeah.
yeah. And they, dude, I am actually interacting with people that are younger than me, same age as me, having a great friggin' time. And what are you doing? You're sitting on an island, and the only one you have to talk to is Gilda. And you have turned her into that old married couple that just sit in the house all day. No wonder why Gilda runs off to Cebu once in a while.
Oh, she's not there.
Goes out and does fucking Pilates. Okay, I don't fucking blame her. I wouldn't want to sit with you there in the house all day either. Hey, dude, I get on my bike and I go for 35, 40 miles. Ride my bike, my electric bike. Yes, you have to pedal it, Frank.
You actually do, brother. Yeah.
Right? See, Frank, these are the differences between me and you. My choice of having fun is different from yours. Your choice of having fun is crushing up a couple of Xanaxes
What?
and
What?
feeling like you're 18 again.
Hold
That's
on.
your choice of fun.
Hold on. I can't hear you.
You
What?
know?
Yeah. No, I understand. I kind of understand. No, and you know what's funny?
And dude, the woman he's talking to that's in the house with him, she
Yeah.
has a limited English vocabulary. Right?
Yeah.
It's not an insult. It's a fact. I've heard her speak. And dude, if I had to talk to her, she
Mhm.
wouldn't comprehend 75% of what I was saying. Yeah, and that's why he gets mad and he repeats himself and he leads her and finally she just says, "Yeah, Frank, you're right. Yeah, Frank, you're right." You know? And I feel bad for her.
Well, I'm gonna tell
Let's
you.
see, Popeye, the bingo
Bingo
people
people.
are only nice to you because you are an evil Knievel suit. Sick. That's right. And I'm gonna tell you, April 28th is Bama's 2-year anniversary of being in detention. Okay.
That sucks.
And I think I might light my camera off and wear my evil Knievel suit.
I think you
Glasses and
should.
all.
I think you should.
I know Frank would show up for that.
Yeah.
But we've been going.
I knew you were gonna say that.
We've been going for 4 hours.
That's
4
that.
fucking hours. Okay.
I mean, I think that's pretty cool. But I will say my goodbyes. Everybody, listen. Thank you for coming in. I hope you take everything like a grain of salt, or you take it as personal as Stank should, and end up on a slab of fucking meat on a table. So because that's exactly what it'll be. It'll be the death of Stank on a slab of steel, and they'll pick him off like meat. And hey, Mr. Sniffles, Mr. fucking Twinkle Toes, don't take everything so fucking personal. We all know the truth. We all can see past it. And I gotta tell you, the only thing we're jealous about is the fact that we can't figure out how much more to get under your fucking skin, bro. And remember, everybody, Bam has been incarcerated 678 days, 21 hours, and 7 minutes and 37 seconds. And he's been living in fucking Stank's fucking brain for 678 and 21 and 7 minutes and 8 years. So that's the kind of life we're all fucking jealous about. Take care, guys.
All right, guys, the weekend is coming. I may or may not have the time to simulcast him because he does his morning shows, he does his night shows, and I may or may not have the time because, like, right now, I think this weekend I'm taking the kids, the grandkids, and I'm heading for the Florida Strawberry Festival. Right?
Hell yeah!
And no, I will not be taking video of it, and no, I will not be posting anything on it because I tell you, honest to God, I just want to go have fun.
Mhm.
It's not about YouTube.
I'll go live, bitches. I'll go. No, just joking.
I know you will, you little cunt. All right, guys. Remember, this live stream was brought to you by San Miguel Beer, Beer None Beer, the official beer of the pill poppin' Xanax boy, Frankie Battagula. San Miguel Beer, Beer None Beer.
Yo, 4.5 hours and 40 minutes with 40 strong there, Stank. Oh, 6 watching, and they're all trolls.
Popeye one's out of here.
How does it feel, Stank? Oh.